Like it's not the worst thing. The Sith themselves and immortality and all that craziness. That stuff's fun. It's
Mm,
fun stuff. It has a dark supernatural feeling to it. Like there's even parts of Rise of Skywalker that I like,
right.
but overall it's just really mishandled. And I, I guess I just can't wash that taste out of my mouth, like of how bad it was in that Rise of Skywalker. You know what I mean?
I mean? Like that's one thing, and I've come to accept the fact that okay, the sequels aren't for me. But what I don't like is what they're doing going forwards with a lot of the stuff with the lore that they're writing in canon, um, and going back and backdating a whole bunch of stuff, saying this and this and this happened because like, so in the and hey guys, how's it going? We just randomly we were talking and we were late because we were talking so much about this, and we're like, you know what? Let's just go live and
Yeah.
do it on air. So we got a few things to talk about in the Secrets of the Sith book, and I have a video coming out on this tomorrow or Wednesday. It's kind of long and it's a little bit winded, but it gets the point across quite well. And it was the first time that I read it, so I was a little bit frazzled by it. In the book, they're actually going back and they're like changing the prequels, and they're saying that Palpatine and Anakin tried to create a Force dyad the entire time. And then they're saying that Plagueis tried to create a Force dyad with Palpatine the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
But the ones that were successful were Rey and Kylo. And it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, just, as a Star Wars fan, create what you want to create going forwards. But just please, Lucasfilm, don't go back and try to like change shit around to help your narrative or help whatever you're creating now. Because when George wrote the story, there was no freaking dyad.
Right.
But there wasn't a thing. And you might argue that Bastila and Revan had a dyad, but there was never a thing that Palpatine was trying to create a Force dyad with Anakin.
Yeah. Well, I feel like
It
it
didn't
sort of,
exist.
I feel like it cheapens it both ways because, on the one hand, like let's say you liked the dyad in Rise, right? Like let's say you
Cool.
were
Yeah.
really into that. Doesn't it kind of even devalue that now it was just a thing that the Sith, not only did Palpatine know about, but he was constantly trying to create. Like I feel like it's this is and I love Marvel, but this is kind of a Marvel-y idea, right? Like kind of just being like, oh, but it was this and it was this and retconning.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I was just going through a lot of the new Venom stuff, and I find it to be awesome. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's really comic booky, and it goes back and it sort of recontextualizes all these different things from the past about the symbiotes and celestials and stuff. And sometimes that stuff can be really, really fun. But I think you're right. Like with something like the prequels and Palpatine specifically, like why would he think that Anakin and he could form a dyad? Like, I guess what I don't understand is like, as far as I understand
I
it,
don't even
like
care about that.
it's
It just didn't exist.
yeah, well,
It
it
wasn't even a
didn't.
thing.
It wasn't a thing, but even in the sense of like, let's just say it was a thing out there, even within Legends. How is it a thing that's so special and significant that it's once in 1,000 years and it's this crazy thing, and yet it's also something that he just happens to be trying to create the whole time and nobody
Yeah.
talks about it? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just
I know.
feels, I don't know. To me, it feels sloppy both ways. It's like it's not a good it's not a good look. I am interested in a lot, as we were saying before, I am interested in a lot of the ideas of the Sith and filling out the Sith and having more of that stuff sort of fleshed out. But it almost feels like instead of being super creative and maybe building some cool stuff that you could play around with in the future, it is just a band-aid. It's something being used to sort of um, make this crazy stuff that they came up with have more precedence and then therefore be more enjoyable. But that feels like so
Yeah.
that's very derivative, you know what I mean? It's not really, I think, what needs to be done there. Um yeah, I don't know. It's a weird, wild thing that they're trying to do with it. I guess I wonder how chat feels about it. Um I don't know. I don't know, man. It's strange, and it feels like they did this before, right? With a lot of the Rise of Skywalker. material in general, do you think we're gonna start having the word dyad pop up in like Book of Boba Fett and like Mando and Kenobi and you know what I'm saying? Like, is this the whole thing now? You know, is Taika's movie about the dyad? You know,
Yeah, it's a cool concept, but also it's kind of a stupid concept where it doesn't really make sense. Like you can pass objects through space no matter where you are because you have a dyad in the forest. Like
plus, like, okay, let me just say that this just
what?
popped into my head too. Why would Palpatine want this at all? You know what I mean? Like, why would he want to share power at all? Like, the whole idea, you know, of Palpatine was his idea of the rule of two was all perversion. He was throwing apprentices away like they were, you know, jackets that had holes in them or whatever. Like, his whole concept as a character was it's about me. I'm the pinnacle of power. You know what I mean? And I just think something like the dyad, like, why would he even be interested in something just because it's so freaking dope? Wouldn't he still be manipulating? You know what I mean? He didn't want a dyad. He wanted a dyad person that he can manipulate. And I don't think to me, that doesn't seem like that's how it would work. You know, it just seems,
Well, they're just, I can go on about stuff like that, and they're obviously creating their own new timeline and everything, and that's fine, man. Do it. They own it now. They can do whatever the hell they want. They can have Vader run out in a diaper for all I know. But
yeah.
I just really dislike whenever they go back and change shit around. It really bugs me because it's like now you're tampering with something that never was the case, and you're just trying to create this idea that this was actually a thing. Stop trying to make it a thing. Just create your story going forwards. There's another thing in there that Palpatine talks about Plagueis, how he learned essence transfer from Plagueis's teachings or something like that.
Yeah.
And in my in my video that's coming out in a couple days, I take an excerpt from the Plagueis novel, which is Legends. It's not canon, but it's an amazing novel. Great book. It's the only sort of information that we have regarding Plagueis, written by James Luceno. And there's an excerpt in there which specifically states, from Plagueis' point of view, how he thinks essence transfer is a complete joke, how it's not really being immortal, it's not cheating death, it's just transferring your consciousness into another body, and that knowledge also died with someone who turned into a Jedi and was killed. So that knowledge doesn't exist.
Right.
Now, sure, maybe Palpatine went in, he found some way because he's very resourceful and smart, but they're even trying to say that, he learned it from Plagueis. It's like Plagueis didn't even know how to do it.
Yeah.
And Plagueis always thought that immortality was a complete joke. He was just laughing at it. He's like, this is not immortality. Immortality, true immortality, is in the corporeal form, not transferring your essence into some other body. So yeah, there's just a lot of inconsistencies in that book with a lot of the other Star Wars canon and legends. But the main thing that I have an issue with is, and I really enjoyed the first book, the first version of that, where everything was from Luke's point of view, Secrets of the Jedi. But this one, going back and saying that I tried to create a Force dyad with Anakin Skywalker, but I was unsuccessful. And Plagueis tried to create a Force dyad with me, but he was unsuccessful. And then Kylo and Rey created one, and they were successful. It's like, dude, just continue on with your story. It's fine. Just, do your thing,
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm going to go more into detail about it tomorrow.
Yeah, for sure. I'm looking forward to that. I really enjoyed your video about the resurrection stuff too, and I want to get into that. I want to talk to you about what's the drive called? The moon looking rock or whatever?
The Aeon Drive.
The Aeon Drive. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a fun idea. Is that the same thing that brings Momin back, or is that different?
No. So Momin is he's kind of haunted his helmet.
Okay, right on. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's all sorts of tricky ways that the Sith could try to linger on in life.
But it's not in Plagueis' point of view. He was the true one that was trying to really find immortality.
Yeah, I mean, he was sort of bougie about it, right? Where he was like, "Bro, I'm not going to accept anything but the best of the best," which is kind of 100%. Fun. It fits with his personality and
being
the whole
elitist. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I like that a lot. I don't know. It's weird. to me, this whole dyad thing, man, it feels like do you think the acolyte is gonna be like, is the dyad taking over? You know what I mean? Like that's kind of my thing, bro. Because like as someone who, again, I actually kind of like the concept for Ray and Ben. I feel
Yeah, I
like
think it's cool.
please don't. Yeah, but here's like the worst case scenario, right? Worst case scenario for me, they start injecting dyad all over canon, and then the next movies that they do with, you know, or the next project they do with like Ben and Ray and everything, it's dyad all day, and then they're gonna try to recontextualize all of Star Wars as the tale of the dyad.
You
You
get
know
a
what I
dyad.
mean?
You get a
Yeah,
dyad. And you
exactly.
get a dyad.
I mean, bro, like this is not dyad wars. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it was this, and I'm gonna be furious
Well,
if this is just some goofy word that JJ
yeah.
came up with. You know what I mean? Like, because what
Or
is it,
whoever in the story
bro?
group.
It's not even like, here's the thing. It is maybe it wasn't JJ, but it feels like a very JJ thing to give this weird mythological idea just something really simple so that like the normies totally get it, so grandmas can repeat it and all these different things, right? Like let's just call it a diet. It feels like a friggin' conversation that you have while you're half eating a donut. It cannot possibly be the recontextualization of all the mythological elements that George put into Star Wars. It just can't be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's inconceivable
Yeah.
that would be what they would want to do. So I'm just really hoping that that's not what they do, that it's just, you know, maybe it's just some fun thing they had in this book, and you know, that's fine, but I don't know, what do you think? You think it's a little bit more serious than that?
I don't know, man. Like I'm not sure what's going to happen going forwards. They could completely just make everything about the dyad. They could try to make it fit into the sequels, which they most likely will. And it kind of bugs me that they're doing that, but I understand why they're doing it, because they just want everything to make sense.
Right.
It just pulls me out of the story, and that's mainly the issue that I have with it. If that it kept me within the story, like I mean, there are lots of other Disney Star Wars stories that I actually really enjoyed,
Right.
but some of them are just like half baked.
Yeah.
And then when you're trying to take something that's half baked or quarter baked or not even baked, and then you're trying to make like that stuff fit in with the past stuff, and you're trying to change stuff around, saying like, "Oh, this guy was trying to really do this," and it's like, no, he wasn't. That didn't exist.
Yeah.
It didn't happen. Like, wasn't part of their contract when they bought it from George that they couldn't change any of the movies?
Yeah.
Doesn't that include like they can't change the stuff in the movies, like
plus
going
like
in there and what they can next go in there and be like, oh, Palpatine was actually having doubts. He kind of wanted to be a Jedi. It's like, what? They could just change anything at this point.
Like, think about it from this perspective. If you're really trying to get us to believe that he was trying to form a dyad with Anakin, like, show me the evidence of him trying any of that. He's trying to undermine Anakin's relationship with the Jedi. He's trying to leave him vulnerable. He's trying to do all these things. Like, bro, why not just go tell the homie, hey, man, the power to save Padme is the dyad. We got to form one. I feel like that would have been the play. You know what I mean?
Literally, dude. And that's what I say in my vid.
Yeah.
Like, why is he even wasting time talking about Plagueis and this ability to cheat death? He would just been like, yo, look, if you really want to save her, the only way to do it is to have a Force dyad with a Sith Lord.
Yeah. How about you sign up for that?
Yeah.
Here, dyad practice tomorrow at 6 a.m. Like,
literally.
That's what it would have been.
Like, oh, well, where am I going to find a Sith Lord? And he's going to be like, here's my red lightsaber, bitch. Here I am. Like,
yeah, for sure. It's not a good retcon. There can be good retcons. That's not one. It's too big. There's too much already pre-established lore. It doesn't really make any sense. Like, why would he talk about the great mystery? You know what I mean? And like studying all these aspects of the Force, like it just would have come up. Like, duality is cool. The idea of dark and light is cool. Like, the rule of two is cool. All the symbolism is cool. But you try to boil it all down to a word that it just feels so corporate-y. It feels like something you put on the back of a cereal box. It's not.
Well, you know what? They're also even trying to undermine the rule of two now, because in the book it says the rule of two is seen as, I got to get my book, but it says the rule of two is like,
it's a pale version of the dyad, right? I think I read some of that online.
Yeah. And I'm like,
yeah.
You kidding me, dude? So Bane created the rule of two, and now you're just undermining like everything. Like, come on, man. What the hell are you guys doing? Why are you changing so much stuff?
Yeah, it feels really weird. I really hope that that's not really going to be the way they go with it, because I mean, I just feel like they're learning horrible lessons, right? And like you wish that they would have learned that like you need someone with like vision and a real story, you know what I mean? And take your time and develop this real thing. Instead, it feels like this move and a lot of the moves made post Rise of Skywalker are of that mindset of, well, we can make this better or give this more or put a band-aid on this, or you know what I mean, like get people behind it.
Yeah.
But I think really and truly the best way to go forward, like, sure, you're gonna have to reference things that happen. You're obviously gonna have to reference Ben and Ray if you go forward in the story and what was going on between them, which I guess is the dyad. But like put some friggin' mysticism back in this thing. Like the only thing that's gonna fix because look, I know a lot of people, even the idea of more sequels makes them cringe or whatever. And I totally understand it. For me, I'm like just holding out hope. And maybe it's just I'm such a crazy optimistic fool, but I'm holding out hope that some brilliant story is going to emerge and these characters will take us on an awesome journey through a galaxy that has all this fun. Like, dude, just do Star Wars. I don't even think Star Wars is that hard of a formula, to be honest with you. Like, just do Star Wars. And I don't think having this word and making all these changes to make it all about this one thing, everybody can see that from a mile away. That's not it. Like, that's just not it, fam.
Like, I'm just wondering, like, these story writers, like, do they sit there and they're like, how can we change the most amount of shit without changing the most amount? It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Like, just create your story going forwards. Stop trying to link so much stuff to this new story and leave it at that. Like, what's done is done with the originals and prequels is done. Like, we don't have to go back and say that Palpatine was doing this and this and this with Anakin. He wasn't.
Yeah.
There wasn't a thing. And this is why I became so disinterested in the new comics that they're making. The first run were fun. They were great. But this new run, where like Vader is going back and forth with the bounty hunters and they're like, I don't even understand it, dude. It's just very confusing and very like just doesn't like what?
Yeah.
And then Luke like finds his father's lights, finds his lightsaber that he threw away from Bespin, and then he's like, no, this lightsaber was evil and belonged to my father, and like throws it away and then goes and finds a yellow one or something. Like, what?
Yeah, man. There's some weird stuff going on, bro. Like,
what's wrong with you?
Yeah. I think, and look, a lot of the stuff, like you can have, this is what I think is so weird. Like, just, you can have fun with Star Wars away from pre-established, already beloved stuff, bro. Like that's like Visions, right? Like Visions was great, and I haven't really started that Ronin novel yet. I got a big road trip coming up, so I'm going to check it out then. But you need to have fun in Star Wars. I totally feel you. And there was an era. There was a time when, yes, doing some recontextualizing of Star Wars for the canon's sake was good and valuable. Like when it was first coming back, yeah, we want to dip our beaks in, get wet, and be reunited and recontextualized with what Star Wars in the canon of the universe is now, right? But what's up, Chaco? I think for me, it's like that time has passed. You need to have fun. You need to do cool things, but that does not mean you need to recontextualize all these things that already work on their own. Chaco, am I wrong?
No.
Did you just hop in? Did you hear anything that we were talking about?
I heard a little bit, and about thoughts on some of the new comics and stuff. And while I'm not 100% up to date,
me neither.
There's a bit of stuff that I do like about them that are so just real quick when it comes to like Luke using the yellow lightsaber.
Yeah.
This is he doesn't get the blue one back, right?
No, yeah,
so
never.
The blue one falls down in Bespin, and gets picked up by Ugnaughts and whatever and goes off. And so that's why I kind of liked it, because he was a much better swordsman when we see him again in Return of the Jedi. And Yoda wasn't training him. Yoda didn't even have his lightsaber.
Yeah.
And in the 2015 run, we saw, him get some training fighting with Sergeant Creel, and he gets stuck on that planet with that one weird guy. But I do like that we are getting more explanation on the difference, because when he comes back in Return of the Jedi, he's a different
Wait, so
person.
this
He's a
is
badass.
explaining
Yeah.
this is explaining why he's a badass in Jedi a little bit, this comic. And it's
Well, there's a
that
bunch
he-
of runs. So there's one where he like goes and the yellow lightsaber is something he finds in this temple, and he fights the ghost of the Inquisitor, the Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, that
sounds
was kind of
fun.
sweet. But I was like, how is this even possible? Like, how did Vader do this? How did Vader create a Force ghost out of the Grand Inquisitor? It like seems like he kind of knows how to create immortality, but not really.
Yeah, I wondered.
It's not
I
really
wondered that
explained.
myself. I mean, we do know he experienced it with Momin,
And Ahsoka, right? Well, sort of with Ahsoka. He sees this is this because what he sees her go through a portal, right?
Yeah, the book, The Secrets of the Sith book, actually explains Palpatine's point of view of the world between worlds, which is, I haven't made a video on it yet, but it's actually kind of interesting.
Does he know that Vader sees it? Like, does Vader ever explain that to
He doesn't
him?
talk about it. No,
Yeah,
no.
that's interesting.
Now I want to see Vader's perspective of that fight, and he's like, "The hell!" Like,
No, yeah, he had to have seen
Yeah.
it. I mean, like, he had to. There's no way he didn't see her get yanked. Do you know
Do you
what I mean?
imagine?
Like,
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like about to like kill
Mhm.
someone, and you see a hand reach through out of like
right?
air and pull
Yeah,
someone.
yeah.
It's like, what?
I mean, he does have a similar reaction in A New Hope when
Oh,
Obi-Wan and he's like stepping on the cloak, like,
Mhm,
is he
mhm.
is he in there? Like,
Like what?
Yeah, yeah,
Freak.
yeah.
Did you read The Secrets of the Sith book?
I've been trying to make my way through Ronin, but
Okay.
I did
You
get
got
it.
Ooh, it
Cool.
looks good.
Did you read the part that I was ranting about?
Yes, Chaco, you gotta explain this to me, man. Is this okay? Because I'm not liking this dyad stuff,
This is
and I
why
like
I love this
the
is why I love
dyad.
having Chaco in here, because he's like, he's a fan of the sequel, so it's gonna be a good conversation, and he's gonna be able to explain shit that I probably don't understand or don't know about, and then we can talk about it. And I know
Yeah.
Josh is like in between.
I'm on the fence. I'm the Bendu right now.
Yeah, I mean, it was also talked about in the visual dictionary, but I still have mixed
Right.
feelings about it. I do have a lot of friends who are like, this makes more sense than the rule of two in general.
For sure, but the rule of two doesn't make sense. That's why it's kind of awesome.
How does the
It's
rule of two
like-
not make sense?
Well, from just a numbers
two.
perspective. No, I get it, but like, come on, man. Like, you go up to your whole army of people and you're like, look, here's the deal. There's only so much power. We have to kill all of you. There's only going to be two of them. One of them's me.
No,
It's
but that
kind
never
of
happened.
sus. No,
But
I
that
know,
never
but I'm not saying it does. I'm saying like the rule of two at face value, if you're not a Star Wars fan, is like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. You're like, what? Like, so you're telling me, like, have you ever tried to explain it to like a non-Star Wars fan? It doesn't
Sure.
really make sense.
Even Star Wars fans that haven't read the Darth Bane trilogy, it's hard to explain it to. Of
Okay.
like,
Bro, because
why
it's like,
don't they
it's-
have more? And you're
it
like,
feels super greedy. Like, it feels super sus that a person would be like, yeah, no, this whole order has to go. There only can be two. Like, what?
Well, they figured that
I
was
like
better because
it.
there was so much infighting.
Yeah, no,
Because the
I mean,
Sith
I
aren't as level-headed as the Jedi. They're
yeah, but why would
they're
yeah?
going to just kill each other?
I
And
totally-
the Brotherhood
yeah,
of
I-
Darkness was just holding them back. You don't think so?
no, that's I do agree with that, because that was my favorite part of the book, where like General Hoth and the Army of Light was starting to act more Sith-like, and the Brotherhood of Darkness was like starting to act more Jedi-like and be like, yeah, we're brothers in arms, and
Yeah, right.
like that doesn't work.
But it's
Uh,
fun. It's cool.
and then Bane's like, this whole thing disgusts me.
This is stupid.
Yeah. I just think like so I'm with you there, Chaco. Like we don't have to side rail on that argument, but I understand that. But like my thing is, bruh, is Star Wars. The rule 2 is the way it's always been. It makes sense. Like there's quirky things like that in all kinds of stories. Like has a certain charm to it. So I just don't buy the argument that like, oh, well, this makes more sense because sure, you can retcon all sorts of things in all sorts of fantasy that technically makes more sense, right? Like, why didn't they just get on the Eagles and take the fucking ring to Mordor? Like, it exists all
Right.
over the place,
Right, 100%.
but that doesn't make it okay. We don't just retcon stuff to make it like that would be like saying like the best way to write a story is the fastest. Do you know what I mean? Like if you sort of slide down that slope, it's like let's just write a story where the hero walks out the door and there's no evil. The end.
Yeah,
it's the fastest story. Does that make it better? It's the most logical thing. Does that make it better? No, Chaco. But go on.
No, I'm with you because I don't. I understand it. You know what I mean? And like, actually, Josh, you and I have had this discussion where you're explaining something, but the fact that you're explaining and understand it doesn't mean you like it or you agree with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my favorite explanation, but I do love the concept of having two characters that are just intrinsically connected through the Force, and you don't know why, and you have to kind of uncover that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the teleportation thing of like teleporting objects and stuff?
Oh, I think that's super cool, like quantum superpositioning, and like
I think it's fun for sure.
I think it's stupid.
Like I think it's
Doesn't make
fun,
sense.
but that's I don't know. To me, that's kind of an afterthought of the whole concept because like once you introduce the idea of like what does he refer to it as, like unlimited power or like something close to that? Like it's something akin to like unlimited power. So that doesn't really shock me that you can teleport stuff. My thing is like, what is it exactly? Like what is it? Is that just a thing that's out there where like two Force users, if they try real hard and have good feelings towards each other, they can lock into the cosmic force unlimited? Like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. It doesn't.
So now they like Vader's helmet is on Kijimi or whatever.
Well, I mean, for them, I kind of this is a concept I actually do really like, you know, because since they are a dyad or two that are one in the Force, it's almost as if
they can be
I don't know. You have two
they
phones
occupy the same space time. It's like a wormhole.
Two phones.
No, it's like a wormhole. Like that's kind of fun. Like the whole quantum idea of it, because they're two beings that are one. So it's one being that's occupying two spaces of the universe, right? So technically speaking, like you could make the argument that the space around them would have to also share, you know, the same space. Like it's like a weird vortexy idea.
And that's what we get in The Last Jedi. The very first time Kylo Ren's like, I can see you, but I don't see what's around you. Like, can you see what's around me? And she doesn't answer. But then it's raining, and then he feels the water. And just the extrapolation of like him talking to her or getting closer and snatching a necklace off of her and being like, "Ha, gotcha."
Yeah,
I thought that was fun. But I also think that hyperspace is intrinsically connected to the Force. I think they're one.
Is this some High Republic stuff? Is there some High Republic stuff that's making you think that?
I've been saying this for years. If you look at the Purgles and the Loth Wolves, and just kind of the way the World Between World works, where it's mixing space and time together. So I kind of believe that. I don't know. I can see this as a slight extension of that. There is some recent developments in the High Republic that might suggest something similar to that. But also in the Thrawn books, you know, you have the Skywalkers,
right,
who are the just little girls who are the navigators who navigate using the Force.
They navigate hyperspace lanes too. Yeah. So
they
I see
lose
what
their powers after like they're 22 or something like that.
Yo, when they get older.
What's going on?
Dyad, yes or no? Wait, how about this? Dyad, underrated or overrated? Off the top. What do you think?
It depends.
No.
See, it depends. It doesn't even matter. I don't have a problem with the dyad. I have a problem with what we talked about earlier, which was so Sawyer. They're going back and they're saying that Palpatine wanted to create a dyad with Anakin the whole time, and that Plagueis wanted to create a dyad with Palpatine the whole time. I just think that's dumb.
Okay.
if you like it, just
I
tell me
don't-
you like it.
Do you love it?
No, I do not love it. I think that sounds.
I think that poster's
why?
really cool.
Yeah, it is
Thank
pretty
you.
cool. It is pretty nice.
Why? Why?
Probably to make
like,
more sense
I
of
don't-
Rey and Kylo.
I like
Yeah.
that being a special thing. If you say, "Oh, Palpatine was trying to do this and Plagueis
Yeah.
was trying to,"
That's
do
what
this,
I was
then it's
saying
not as
earlier. Right. That's what I was saying
unique,
earlier to
right?
Theory, where I was like, it ruins it both ways because for the people that like it being this once in a generation thing, like when Palpatine said it in the movie, my impression of it was he never thought he'd ever encounter one. And if he had known they were a dyad, his plan would have been totally different. That's the
Right, like,
impression that
if
I
he
got.
Well, yeah, I guess, yeah.
But
if
you have
he's
to know
right.
it exists. You know,
For sure,
Exactly, if
100%. But that's how he was able to be like, that's how
Gallus.
when it happened, what's up, Gallus? That when it happened, he was like, oh, that's what this is. Give me that good. You know what I mean? Because he knew it was a thing. But the idea that he knew it was a thing and was constantly trying to recreate it, I don't know. To me, it's just.
So I didn't. I think I said this on the stream the other day. I didn't even know that the Secrets of the Sith was out yet. I didn't even know it was a thing until a friend of mine in LA was like, "Dude, do you have it?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" I've been so far removed from Star Wars recently, but yeah, I don't know. I don't like that because I always really liked the concept of the dyad because it stems from Revan and Bastila, which you guys know is my favorite thing ever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So to make it, I don't like that. It makes it less special. So all these people someone's like, yeah, Sawyer saying why is how everyone feels right now. Yeah, why?
Probably.
Is it necessary?
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah. Callus, what do you think? Are you into it and you have a good argument for it, or what do you think?
Do you know about what's going on?
Slightly, yeah, slightly.
Okay.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say, Josh?
No, we're just talking about like the idea of the dyad being a thing that Palpatine was trying to create with Anakin, that Plagueis was trying to create with him, and it sort of feels like they're injecting dyad into all the stuff that came before and trying to like kind of tie it all to that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm not necessarily the biggest fan. I mean, I did read in one of the encyclopedias where they were stating that the dyad was actually, in the Sith tongue, based on the dialect, it was sort of, you could change it in and out with the rule of two, based on just the different dialects of the Sith. So it was kind of, I don't know if they're changing that now, but that's what that damn encyclopedia said, that it was supposed to sort of mirror.
When was that one released? Is that a Rise of Skywalker, John, or
It was after.
okay, sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the rule of two. I know that you're not. Theory, you are though, right?
Yeah, I love it.
All
Yeah,
right, okay, good. All right,
Yeah.
there's my
Hey,
brother.
look, I like
right,
it
yeah.
as a concept, but
Come
I do
on.
think it's a little silly. But
Listen, bro, the rule of two.
I'm with you, Josh, completely.
I
We're on
don't
the
know.
same-
hey, I
Listen.
like it. I want it to be.
Exactly. There you go. There you go. There you go.
No! I was Vader yelling.
No, I love the rule of two. It just, I don't know. I just think the idea of that Revan had, just the concept of hoarding all of that power for yourself, letting as a Sith you be a vessel for that dark side. I mean, that's just, it's just magical to me. So I love the idea of it. And then,
Do they think the dyad is all dark side then? Like if it's a Sith concept, if it comes from Sith legend and stuff like that, like is it, and it's interchangeable with the rule of two, then like how it just feels very different than like the dyad we just experienced, and
Yeah,
even the one with Revan and Bachelor, right?
it to me felt like it was made to sort of correct mistakes in the trilogy, that in the sequel trilogy. That's what it felt like to me. It didn't feel like it was a true concept, because remember, I'm one that did not believe that those two were to be together. In my eyes, they should have remained. I just thought that the concept of her being a Skywalker, him being a Solo, them being cousins, them being mortal enemies, them being just the the pinnacle of Force powers at that time, because Luke, of course, is going to take a step back. I just thought that was it was more of a compelling story than what was given.
Sure.
And so the fact that the dyad just to me felt like it was pieced together to piece together what they wanted, the change that they wanted to make for the relationship between Kylo and Rey, because I don't believe it was initially intended to be that way. But that's just my.
Yeah, I don't think it was either. Yeah. I don't even think that word, like that's what I was sort of saying earlier. Like, I don't even think that word is like a real Star Wars word. Like, I feel like it feels like a JJ thing. Like, just let's condense down this idea, like the Wayfinder. Like, bro, it ain't a Wayfinder. Like, it wasn't a Wayfinder in the script. He's just like, we need the normies to understand it helps them find their way. Let's call it a Wayfinder. You know what I mean? And it's like dyad. Yeah, die to like Latin boom, like let's do
Duo,
it. Dyad.
Yeah.
Let's go, and I'm just like, man.
I mean, I do remember, like, I remember very strongly, like, after The Force Awakens, I remember seeing on, like a lot of forums, like, oh, do Rey and Kylo have a Force bond? Like, that's what it was called, like, Force bond. I think you're totally right. That the term dyad was, where did that come from? That wasn't,
yeah.
Or was it even a J.J. Abrams thing? Because didn't we hear dyad in The Last Jedi?
Oh,
First?
hell no. No way.
No,
No
it's a
way.
new thing.
No, that
Was it
word
in Rise
did
of
not
Skywalker?
exist before probably 3 months before the film came out. Probably literally a total reshoot thing that they were like, let's,
Well,
because like, bro,
He had
like,
to create
anyway.
that. He had to create it because Ryan put in there like Force Skyping.
Yeah, he wanted just an easy way to explain it, like, because the thing is, the Force bond and what was going on in The Last Jedi is some of the most compelling stuff that happens in that film, and the mystery around it was cool. It was intriguing, and JJ was like, to me, just felt like he wanted a condensed version of it to then just move on, rather than play with that idea.
Yeah.
Well, also them having a deep like intrinsic connection is still seen in oh, my game's super low. Sorry about that. It's still seen in like the novel. Oh,
Wait.
In the novelization of
TFA. Oh, okay, sure.
So I feel almost more like there are certain concepts that were baked into TFA in the finalized script,
Sure,
that Rian Johnson started to create and make things based off of that got cut from the final version of the film.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Like there's other scenes, like Rey meeting Poe, supposed to happen in The Force Awakens. So I don't know, but I do fully believe that like Force bond is a thing. People have bonds with one another, like because how long they've spent time with each other, and this is something further than that. So I know I'm not against dyad, the term, but yeah, it absolutely was never stated until Rise of Skywalker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I have a little exercise I'd like to do, which kind of explains how I think the sequels were created, and I was wondering if you guys want to participate.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Do we need paper?
No, I'm just gonna share my screen. No.
Is it the stuff with the whales where they?
No. Okay, so everyone close your eyes.
Okay.
Oh, shucks.
Okay. All right. No peeking.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Okay, so We're gonna first start with The Force Awakens. Chaco, I want you to give me directions on how to draw a picture, and I just want you to draw like 1/3 of the picture that you have in mind. So say up, say give me a circle, give me something very like simple.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, let's start with Jesus Christ.
And the picture is going to be horizontal.
Draw me a dyad.
Okay. Yeah, let's draw a start with a circle that's at the top.
Okay.
And then that circle is intended to be a head, so let's give it like a neck and
Okay.
and in its right arm is a lightsaber. I don't think I'm doing this right.
You're doing just fine. Okay, Joshy.
Okay, lightning bolts and fire and some kind of scales.
Are our eyes still closed?
Yeah, eyes still closed.
Okay,
Man. There's no peeking.
Now, when people ask me about streaming, I can literally say I can do that shit with my eyes closed.
For real.
All right. Okay. All right. Sorry.
Okay, put spikes on the floor.
Okay. What color you want the spikes?
Make them red.
Thought you'd say that.
It was like, of course.
Okay.
And then put some tornadoes in the background.
Tornadoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, Lord Callus, you're next.
How specific can we be?
Just
vague.
like everyone else, yeah.
All right, so just a helmet and 3 lines across. If it were to have
Across the helmet?
yeah, so if the helmet were to have a face mask, just three lines.
Okay. 3 horizontal, or what do you want?
Yeah, like at an angle actually. My eyes are closed, so can you see what I'm doing? Like this.
Okay. There you go, everybody. There's the sequels.
Yeah. Nice, dude. With the scales and all that.
That's like how I feel like it was. Like they were just handed off to too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
And so it's like
Too
they're
many
taking this.
cooks.
Yeah, it's like I feel like they're taking the story that's just kind of everyone trying to outdo the other or trying to fix the other story to fit their story.
Yeah.
Like poor JJ, and I don't really like JJ's storytelling all that much, but at least Ryan was unique, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And I just feel like now they're trying to fit all of this stuff back into the prequels and the originals. And I'm like, why are you doing this?
Bruh, like
For what?
Again, I'm just really concerned that like it's gonna be dyad for days next. Like that's the thing. Like don't need that. You know what I mean? So
Well, something I'm kind of curious about is, they're doing this KOTOR remake, and it's
oh
supposedly
no. Go on.
Yeah, they're doing this
What?
KOTOR remake, and they did say the story's going to change a little bit. They
Mhm.
didn't say how or why. I'm assuming my thought is okay. They're going to pull all the stops to make this remake, and I'm assuming make it canon. What is that going to look like? Are they going to try to make it exactly like how they did Ray and Ben? Or I don't know, right? Like that's
Bruh.
kind of because something about like yeah, Revan and Bastila, cool, but like there was a certain simplicity to that bond. Like there was no, it was just like, oh, we're connected and we have the same dreams and we can use that to help defeat the Sith. Like that's it. There's no complex nature to it at all.
Mhm.
What's gonna happen with that? You know?
Knights of the Dyad.
And there's nothing in that story that needs to change to fit today's time. I mean, it's very, I don't want to say it's generic, but it transcends time. I mean, there's no reason for us to have to change that story. It's perfect as it is. So I don't understand what, when they were saying they wanted to update it to make it more relevant to today, I don't understand that.
Well,
Yeah.
so
When
what
did
what
they say
I
that?
got
Say that? When did
Yeah,
they say that?
They said that when they were doing they had the developer speaking.
The-
So
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
yeah,
No, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm just kind of
well, at the end of the PlayStation 5 showcase,
Okay,
they actually
right on.
had the lead producer
Developer?
on the project talk, and also on PlayStation.com. He wrote the blog post about this, but I don't think they're going to change it to make it anything canon. I mean, even in that little short thing they said, it says a legend remade for PS5. I think that wording was intentional, personally. When he talks about updating things to make it more relevant, like my first thought goes to Tatooine. It was fun, but it was a very small level. Like there was no grandeur, there was no
I spent so
hills in
much
the
time
distance.
on Tatooine though. You can use, there were two places that you could sort of farm to up.
That's the
Tat-
only one. The
Yeah,
like Dune
nope.
Sea.
I never took
Tatooine
it.
you could farm, and you could also farm on Korriban, because if you
Mhm.
just would
Uh-oh.
I never took it as
Now
like
we'll
them
never know.
changing anything of the story. I took it as them like updating it, like updating graphics and shit.
Yeah, and that's exactly the understanding
I don't
I
know what
received
you
from
said.
what they said.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
keep-
they could say they could, I guess, I don't know, update the romance options for the times. I don't know what they could mean by that. Like,
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could see that. I
That-
could see them
yeah.
also putting in the extra content that got cut out of. Well, that was KOTOR 2, sorry.
no, if they make KOTOR 2 canon, you know I'm gonna have something to say about that.
No, bro, I can see it now. I can see where all this is going, and it's terrifying. Like it's just terrifying. Like just don't. Oh man.
I don't know. I'm not there yet. I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I just take it as it is. Like this thing with the book, I'm like, come on, man, you don't need to do that. Like, why are you doing this?
Yeah, I just want to be sort of cautiously optimistic, because
Right.
I'm okay with them updating mechanics and graphics, so all of that, and different options to the story. If they want to add to it, it's fine, but just don't take away the base of the story. Don't take away what what we loved about the story and what made that story so great. I mean, I bought my Xbox because of that damn game.
For sure, a lot of people did. A lot of people. That's the only game they ever had in that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm not again. It's just so funny to me because like I'm the guy that is excited about the potential of more Ben Solo movies. Like I am, and I think that would be fun. But I'm just so not happy about them being like, oh, well, you know what it's gonna do to make those movies great? This little fucking retcon over here in this crazy book, like recreating KOTOR and putting the Diane in it. Like, no, you know what would make those movies great? If you just focused on making good movies. That's it. Like, that's all. That's it. And it's upsetting to me that might be the route that they're trying to go down.
What I think? I think they want to alienate and piss off the pre-existing fans
That
And I
cannot
think they wanna get rid of them.
possibly be that can't possibly be true, bro.
I think they want
That
to get rid of them so that they have all new fans.
that is
At this point, I'm starting to think that that's.
I can appreciate that
I can
feeling,
appreciate your
but like,
psychosis.
bruh, there ain't no way. Like that's just it's not possible that that's what they're doing, which is worse because what that means is no, they just are that daft that they're like, no, we want all these fans. And you know how we're gonna get them? We're gonna change the stuff they love. We're gonna come in and establish this stuff that is totally out of nowhere, and they'll love it. You know
Well,
what I
that's
mean?
the
Like
thing.
that
Is
doesn't-
that's why I say this, because I don't understand why anyone in their right mind would constantly do something where they know they're getting a lot of.
yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean, I
yeah.
Flack.
go to her.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, I find it interesting because the people who don't, maybe this is just my personal observation, but it feels like the people who like the sequels and don't have a problem with the choices that were made in the sequels they don't require that extra material to like
Right.
explain it to them. So why are they doing that if it's just upsetting people more?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, for sure. I
you
agree with you.
know?
It's well, that's the thing is like that's why the Rise of Skywalker in many ways is sort of a microcosm of all their really bad thinking because they did in some ways try to please everybody with that movie, and in many ways they left all of them unsatisfied. Like the Reylos were some of the people that hated Rise of Skywalker the most, and they were riding
Mhm.
super hard with
Really?
oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
They raged
Absolutely.
hard
I
about
thought they
that
were really
movie.
happy about it.
No, bro. No, not even close. Like
I
they
didn't
were
even realize that until kind of recently, where I saw on Twitter all these threads like, "Hey Raylos, are you like what are your coping mechanisms for dealing with how
Oh, it
bad
was
the
bad.
Rise of Skywalker was?" And I was like, "What? Wow, okay." Like I had
Mhm.
no idea.
Mhm. Yeah. So they basically tried to please everybody with like a really sort of corporate checklist kind of a movie. And it ended up pissing everybody off. Like it was not the way to go about it. So I don't understand them not learning that lesson from it. Like, you know, say what you will about The Last Jedi, and there are many things you can say about it. But the people that liked that movie, that felt like it was taking Star Wars in a really cool direction, how could they possibly like Rise? Like for real, like it
Oh,
literally shits on
Good
most
point.
of the things that they really liked, you know, and it
Good point, man.
streamlines concepts. So yeah, it's just how do we get out of here? You know what I mean? Like I just don't know. I don't know, man. Like
Well, so there's two things that I'll say, and again, overall, because I love The Last Jedi, but overall the sequels are my least favorite trilogy. TFA I thought was right down the middle, and Rise is my least favorite Star Wars anything. But as someone that was like constantly reading all of this stuff, like a lot of the I agree that Rise was created to try and appease everyone. Like they took everyone's checklist and like tried to just mark those off. But there were
should have
certain
gave
things
Reddit
that
like a co-writing credit, like co-written by Reddit.
but there was some of those things though that having read all of these books, I wasn't surprised. Like I wasn't surprised at all Palpatine came back because like Mark Thompson uses his voice in in the TFA novelization, and you get to see the whole purpose of Operation Cinder, and
Mhm.
you get to see that in the Tarkin book from 2014, he has something calling to him from outside the galaxy, and he doesn't know what it is. And he also laughs about his master being obsessed with immortality. And Palpatine's like, he was thinking too small. I want to remake the galaxy in my own.
He wants to
image.
remake reality. That's what
Yeah.
he says in the Tarkin book. Yeah, no, I feel you, but that's not why people are mad about it, right? Like, it's not the fact that he came back. There were so many people in the lead up to
Oh, they
that.
did a bad job of.
That's what I'm
bringing him
saying.
back.
There were people leading that on the lead up to that came up with better theories, that had better ideas of how it would work, that had better concepts. And then what we saw in the movie really was like a hide the reason, kind of weird. He's back. It's a super big deal, and also over immediately. You know, like
Yeah. Like my first thought was like, how do you even really know about Palpatine?
dude, how do all these people know about him?
No
Just
one
in general.
saw
How-
any of
well,
that stuff.
They played
Beyond-
Fortnite.
But no, dude, for real.
Yeah.
But like beyond that, for real, like Palpatine is back. Poe says that he's not speaking to the characters; he's speaking to the audience. It's so ridiculous. It's literally so ridiculous. He's not speaking to the characters. How would they possibly know or be able to formulate any meaningful statement back to that? Palpatine's back somehow. Palpatine's returned.
And that's been my complaint about it the whole time, is that there was a lot of stuff in there that was said to us, the audience, that has the people in the scene wouldn't have any context to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I know. I don't know, man. Whatever. Whatevs.
Mhm. I'm trying to be the shepherd. You know what I mean? Like I want it to not be like this. I'm actually optimistic about a lot of stuff that's coming out for Star Wars, and I am actually keen on more sequels, and I'm keen on, you know, a good story, because I want them to have a better, like, I want better for these characters, I want better for these actors, I want better for Star Wars fans. I think there's a way to do it, but it's hard work. It would require incredible vision. It would require going to like maybe some of George's old notes, doing something like bold, and this is not it. Like, this is Rise. What it seems like to me, this is Rise of Skywalker just continued. Like, and not just the story, but the ideas, the mentality that took us to that film. It seems like that is just on full display here, and I'm not okay with that, you know. And I just, oh man, I hope I'm wrong, you know.
Yeah.
Well, at the same time, we also have the re-release of a lot of stuff from Legends, and again, I don't believe Coder is going to be made canon. I think it's going to stay Legends, and we've been getting more projects that are kind of freer. They're letting people do more things and do what they want. So while I don't think they are intentionally trying to alienate the older fan base, I think I feel like they've hit a point where they're like, what do you want? Because when they try to appease, it still goes off the rail, or there's so much noise and so much vitriol and hate that you can't get to an actual conversation.
Oh
You
yeah.
know? So they're like, okay,
yeah.
here's the legend stuff that you want. We're gonna remake it, and just give it more production value. And a lot of the book covers are way better for.
Yeah, they look cool. But I guess like just to sort of feed off of that idea, because like I understand that idea, and if you are Lucasfilm, you are certainly in a weird, precarious spot, because there are a lot of voices that you can't necessarily take serious because of, in my opinion, a lot of the discourse, and I still think it's kind of on them, but a lot of the discourse is just Wild West and crazy. But at the same time, it's not like there's a total absence of a precedence for a franchise or an IP that arcs out or loses touch with its fan base. And I think there are examples of how to reboot and rejuvenate things the right way. So it's not like there's just this total void out there of like things, you know, of what we should do. Like, I would argue that the Marvel Cinematic Universe had a massive dip in phase 2 where shit started to stank, you know what I mean? And you're just like, dude, Iron Man 2 wasn't good. Iron Man 3 was not good. And then they turn it around, and the way they did it was with fresh voices, and they brought in like just real raw talent. And I think that's what you need. You need just raw creativity. You need someone that's got swagger, that's got love for the thing, that will write the shit out of it. Like, bro, all four of us on this panel right now, if given the opportunity, would put our whole soul into something that would be Star Wars as a story and continuation. I'm not saying we'd be able to like nail it, but there are a lot of people like us that have better skill sets that could probably come up with something pretty dope. You know what I mean? So I feel
think
you,
the four
dude,
of us
but
would make a really cool Star Wars.
What would our Star Wars show be?
I don't know. I think we're all so diverse with like, I think we love Star Wars the same, but our points of view are so different that we could create something that is super unique and cool.
I agree. And we're just some nerds that met on the internet. Like Lucasfilm has
Yeah.
the freaking resources of God. Like you telling me you can't get a writer's room together of talented people and farm some crazy new ideas? Like that's just unacceptable, in my
No.
opinion.
Right.
I feel like we gotta give it a year, because I think that's exactly what they're trying to do right now. I think that's what Mandalorian was. I think that's, and using Mandalorian as a testing ground for these different directors and stuff for specific episodes to get their own projects. And
Yeah.
like, do you think I see a lot of awesome stuff spinning out of that?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's where they're heading, but I do think that they're trying to do things on two different fronts, right? They're trying to cultivate the next group of kids who are going to walk into Disneyland, and that's going to be their first experience with Star Wars, is living in a day there, which I think is awesome. I wish I had that as a little kid.
Yeah.
But there was also going to be stuff for Book of Boba Fett, for the old heads who, even though Boba Fett didn't do anything in Empire, who still knew he could and wanted to see that. And so part of the problem as well is I think there needs to be more content, because when there's only a little trickle, you get one of these other people watching the thing that's meant for the next generation, and they're like, I don't like this.
I mean, I think that's fair. It's a fair point, and I think more content is coming, which will also solve the problem. I agree with you that like they need time and stuff, but like in my opinion, we're kind of talking about sort of evidence, and a little conspiratorial maybe, but like evidence that a lot of that same old thinking is still prevalent. Like, why are they doing this with the diet? Like, you know what I mean? Like, and if I see more and more of that, and that becomes the whole focus of stuff going forward, like, it's not what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Like, that's not, I think, what you're talking about. That's not creatives, getting in a room. That's like a crazy Dungeons and Dragons campaign that's gotten too out of hand, and now you need to explain away a bunch of stuff and come up with a concept. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. I hate to be the bummer. I'm usually not the bummer guy.
No, I love it. I love
That's me.
Yeah,
I love
dude.
the conversation, because it doesn't come from a place of like, pitchforks and stuff. I kind of see both things, because I see how much stuff was retconned in Star Wars in the past, and there's a lot of stuff along with the sequels that was actually not a retcon. It came out alongside, like they would have a few books that would come out leading up to the film, and on the same exact day that would explain stuff that was outside of them.
Yeah,
and
I
so a lot of
agree.
these
I'm not
concepts are still
against
going,
that.
but
I'm
yeah.
not against that kind of stuff. There's a lot of precedence in Star Wars for that. Yeah, for sure.
But I love it.
Yeah, I don't know, man. We'll see. I'm not super optimistic about this one specific thing. And I guess I'm just a little frightened that like I can just see their wheels turning, man. Like where they're like, let's dyad away all of this stuff, and then that will give more oomph to what we're about to do with these next movies. Like that I just disagree with. Like it's a bad way to go about it. Now, can those movies still exist and be freaking awesome and deal with the diet? Yeah, for sure. But it's one does not equal the other. It's not going to be causal. It'll just happen to correlate. You know what I mean? And that's like, it's a lot of wasted time and angry fanboys, for no reason.
And that's why I want them to stay far, far away from the Skywalker saga going forward.
Yeah. You don't think they're going to do more sequels?
I think there'll be more movies. I mean, obviously there's going to be more movies and more trilogies and like overarching stories and stuff like that. But I want them to, because also you're always going to run into problems if you keep putting stuff in the same space. You know what I mean? Like how much, the Clone Wars lasted for 3.5 years. We have 8 seasons of a show, and like, I love it, but I feel like we gotta. There's big gaps of time that might be good to talk about.
Yeah, or forward. You know what I mean? Like just ahead. There's an infinite amount of time for them to just go. Yeah.
So moving on, what do you think about Daisy Ridley having lunch with Kathleen Kennedy? You think they're talking about anything? she's
I
coming
mean,
back, or
I'll save my
Just
thoughts. Y'all know
hanging
my
out.
thoughts. What do you think, Chaco? You hear about this? That she had lunch
Yeah,
with?
I mean, in Bob Iger's book, that was, they had lunch, and that's how they discussed Disney buying Star Wars. So there's obviously precedent for it meaning something. But then
Probably.
again, you have an actor and one of the most powerful people in the film industry that formed a relationship. So who knows? Maybe she was just in town. Um, I I would be interested in. I want to see post Rise of Skywalker Finn learning how to be a Jedi.
Yeah, me
That's
too. I think you're gonna get it, bro. I think actually that's gonna be one of the first ones is the Finn show. And then yeah, I strongly feel that they will absolutely do episode 10, 11, and 12 with Daisy Ridley, and that they will bring Adam back as well. That's what I think.
I don't know how they'll bring him back, but they'll bring him back,
Bro, here's the thing. They don't even know how they'll bring him back. They don't know.
Dude, they
They
write
just-
a million different ways to bring people back from the dead in the new Secrets of the Sith book.
Yeah, well, because they're gonna need a way, but I'm telling you, I don't think they know how
There's
currently.
like several ways that they wrote it, like Aeon
Me-
Drive, World Between Worlds. Palpatine's like, in each one of them, he's like, if a Sith gets his hands on this knowledge, anyone can come back.
I do kind of love that conversation between George Lucas and Dave Filoni, where George is like, "So, we're bringing Maul back. Do that." And he's like,
Well, that's exact. I mean, they're yeah,
How?
absolutely, absolutely. And then, like he said to him, he's like, "Don't." He's like, "You'll figure it out, and it'll be fantastic." But that's kind of what they're doing here, and I feel you. Like, there's some precedence to it, but like, bruh, you're talking about like this dope character that people were like, "Oh man, we didn't get enough of him." That's not exactly what's happening with Ray and Ben, right? It's not like everyone's like, we barely got any of them, you know? So they're in a totally different situation.
I would say that with Ben. I don't think we got enough
With
of
Ben,
Kylo.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I feel Ben's the best thing about the sequels, I think.
Absolutely. 100%.
But also, sorry, by the way, my sister was calling me. So,
Do you have an opinion on the dyad?
My wink was synced with your text tone. It worked. It was like,
Ding, ding.
I was muted, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Wait,
good.
yeah.
Like, she was calling to yell at me for something.
no, we heard everything.
Oh my god, shit. But no, I mean, first of all, I don't want to see more sequel stuff. I want to see. I want to go back way back in the past. Like that's where I'm at with things. But yeah, maybe Rey goes dark side and she resurrects Ben. I mean, that's the best I could come up with is for how they'd be able to, like, and then Finn is what, like the hero of the trilogy, and like I don't know. There's an
A
idea.
little too late, baby. Like.
I know, but like, there's a maybe I don't know that there's a solution, quote unquote.
Yeah. I mean, there's always going to be more story to tell, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, long afterward. Toast.
Yeah, I know, right? I can't wait to see what we're talking about in like 10, 20 years.
50 years.
We're like, I can't believe they're doing this. Dyad again. Palpatine again. Oh.
I mean, I think killing Ben was a huge mistake.
Oh, for
Like,
sure. It was so dumb.
But
But like that's the thing. Like now they're going to just try to explain it away. But like isn't that exactly why Rise blows? Because it's just explaining away everything in TLJ. So now you're just going to explain away like the whole thing was his sacrifice, the redemption of. Yeah.
Well, and what's funny in the Secrets of the Sith book too, Palpatine's talking about what Kylo did with his helmet, and it was just like he's like going over the helmet. He's like, first Kylo dons a helmet to replicate his grandfather, and then I through Snoke, blah blah blah, did something with Kylo, and Kylo destroyed it in the elevator. It's like Palpatine watching him the whole time, and he's like,
in the elevator.
to free himself of this past of his grandfather. But then he recreates the helmet stronger,
Right.
stronger than ever with which was actually pretty cool. It was like some Sith. What was the red stuff? They named Sith. It was like Kralest or something. Anyway, some Sith metal, and yeah, which actually made the helmet stronger than it ever was, which is interesting.
I mean, it's kind of interesting. I don't know, bro.
I like stuff like
Looks
that,
cool.
like
It looks cool. It looks cool. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
like materials and things and stuff.
Kintsugi, what's it called?
With the gold that they put in the yeah. It's a cool
Right.
concept.
No, let me go
No. Yeah. I don't know, man. This one for me, guys, is just like, dang.
I one of my favorite books from Legends is Plagueis, and in the Plagueis book, the book is called Plagueis, but the book itself is like a Palpatine origin story.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I
actually
love
what it
that
is.
book, dude.
I loved the overlap between that book and the films, where we see what was happening in the background of all of this, this crazy
Yeah.
stuff that's going
Mhm.
on. Another thing I would love to see, involving the sequels is straight up just Ben's story. What's happening on that side of things?
Yeah.
More
And not in the Lego way.
Isn't the whole time of the sequels about a year? It's all just a year. Like the first ones, the first
Yeah.
two are just like a couple of weeks away from each other, and then the other one's a year. So
yeah.
Oh, what did I do?
you broke it, bro.
What story would you guys want to see or make?
What, just in general, or like as a continuation of the sequels?
Oh no, in general.
Well, I've always liked the idea of morally ambiguous Force users, right? So, like, not necessarily Grey Jedi, but people like I would love to see Jedi that were a little bit more like the actual samurai in feudal Japan, where like some of them had so much status that they were going around kind of running stuff. You know what I mean? While others were very loyal to their lords and, things of that nature. So I'd like to see some stuff like that, maybe even a little bit of like kind of what we see in Visions, with that, the Sith Hunter. That would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what that book is like. It's way more samurai than it is Star Wars, and like at that time period, the Jedi aren't like a structured order. They like belong to specific houses and serve those
That's cool. That's cool.
lords. And there's like an overarching empire, but the Jedi served the empire, and then the Sith were the ones that wanted to break away with that, but by doing dishonorable things. So it's this weird where it's not flip-flopped, but it's I don't know, it's just a new way of visualizing all of this stuff.
You know what also I've always wanted to see is like, and I'm sorry to cut you off, sorry if I did, but like an X-Men thing where the Jedi are like either outlawed or hunted or like looked down upon, so that like the Force users, because they're awesome, but I think it would be cool if like there were a bunch of them, but they were all like bunted down, or as soon as they were shown to have any propensity to the Force, they'd be like taken away or something like that. That'd be kind of fun.
That'd be cool.
I
Have you
think
tried
there's-
not being a mutant?
Right.
I think there is some room for stories like that in like another season of Visions, or like I honestly do think that Visions in and of itself was a great decision, because those are not canon stories, and because they're not canon stories, they can play around with that stuff, and it's they can do those things. They can make those universes where that is how Jedi are treated, and it I think making a show and saying from the get-go this is not canon, I think that was really great, to be honest, for
sure.
new Star Wars content, because frankly with they could be doing that instead of trying to go back and like make everything make sense, you know, just make more stuff that's like, this is just like exactly like the extended universe always was, right? You know, okay, these are all these people's interpretations of Star Wars and they're not canon, it's just for fun, you know. I think that takes a lot of the pressure off of everything instead of, and yeah, I mean, I think those stories would be really cool to see. For me personally, though, to answer your question, Chaco, I would, and this contradicts me saying I don't want KOTOR 2 to be canon, but I would like Traya to have like a mini series of like her life and her experiences and how she got to her weird Sith philosophy at the end of her life. Like, I think that's a character from Legends who needs spotlight for sure.
Chaco is called Saracen Iron.
Oh, okay.
Kind
of cool.
Iron.
Oh my god, all these people are like, make a movie about Darth Nihilus. No.
Galactus. Star Wars Galactus.
Literally Galactus. Yeah.
No, stop.
Shall we read some secrets,
It's
Josh?
so upsetting.
Yeah, man. I'm down. I'm down for whatever you want to do, man.
Soupies.
I'm down for whatever.
I
bro.
rewatched Keaton's Batman this weekend, and all I could see was Theory in the suit.
Huh? I remember when you did that, when you put the suit on your stream.
Yeah. Before anything, General Theory, thank you for the legendary St. Jude's. Oh, yeah, and thank you to all you guys for joining, by the way.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was fun.
It was a good time. I wanted your take on Inquisitors. I mean, they don't technically break the rule of two by being dark side users working under Sith. Bane would disapprove. I don't think
Would
so.
he?
Well, didn't they have underlings? Or
Yeah.
not?
Yeah, I don't think he would disapprove. They're just like cultists almost.
Mm-hmm.
They're like fanboys.
Yeah.
I kind of love that scene in Vader 2017 where like Vader fights the Grand Inquisitor, and he goes to Palpatine. He's like, "The hell was that, man? Like,
Yeah.
if he had beat me, would he have become your apprentice?" And Palpatine's like, "Well, yeah, but did he have a snowball's chance in hell of beating you?" And he's like, "Well, no." I'm like, then shut up.
5 months. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for helping during. Oh, thanks, Nerd Connor. 2 years. Woo. Also, Dyad makes me cry. Hey Theory, what if? And thanks, Charlie. Hey Theory, what if the Drive could revive Luke and Ahsoka's glorious love for?
Let's go.
I can't believe a year and a half has gone by quickly. Thanks, Mike Hill. I miss when Star Wars felt sacred. It was not JJ's idea. It was in KOTOR. Revan Bastila was the first and only real dyad in the Force and is actually an awesome thing in that story. I don't think so, though. I don't think the dyad was the same back then.
I don't remember hearing the word at all.
Sawyer?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Dyad. Is it in
It wasn't the
KOTOR?
same. The word
Darth-
wasn't used for sure.
Darth Revan saying Revan and Bastila were the first and only dyad.
I mean, technically, but like it wasn't called that.
Yeah. But they couldn't transfer objects to each other.
Or bring each other back to life, more importantly.
Mm.
No, but I mean, well, and the other thing about them is that it was formed like it wasn't like they weren't like a fated thing either. Like it was formed because she like grabbed him from the brink of death and brought him back to life. Not brought him back to life, but like he was near death, and she, revived him, and that was like that's what created their connection. So it wasn't like a mystical so technically no, they weren't the only dyad. And in fact, in a lot of the Old Republic, they talk about masters and apprentices having similar force bond.
Strong bond.
They speak about that quite a bit, and the sharing dreams too. It's just that was, I think, the first like strong and elaborated representation of that relationship. And of course for them it was a romance,
Right.
Yeah.
Indubitably. Do you think the kyber crystal Luke used to build his lightsaber came from Qui-Gon? I like to think that. It helps me sleep at night.
It was a dyad.
Oh, we
I love that canonically the blanket that Yoda sleeps with was Qui-Gon's cloak.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they added that in. That was cute.
Do you think the 2 kyber crystals in Rey's lightsaber are a dyad?
Yes. The twin sons of Tatooine
I
are
think
actually
so.
a dyad.
Broom Boy and the Broom are a dyad. In the Force.
Oh no! Hey, it's a family show here.
What? That wasn't meant to be. What the hell? Way to turn that weird.
Yeah, well, I saw the
Dude, you can play
opportunity.
Tales from the Galaxy's Edge on Oculus Quest VR. You meet Yoda and R2. I have the game. I haven't played it yet, so I'd like to do that. Started reading the new Star Wars book, The Ronin. I'm about 15 chapters deep so far. Pretty good. I love this twist on the Star Wars universe.
Cool. I can't wait to start it.
So, will that make the father, son, and daughter better than a dyad? More and more questions than answers. That's a good question.
I love what Filoni's like. Yep, we have all the answers, and we're never going to tell you them.
Oh, man.
Do you think he actually has all the answers?
No.
I think the answer is to say you have all the answers, but we're never going to tell you.
I think you
I think
sometimes they're just making it up as they go, kind of.
It's a total Sith thing.
Sadly, with some, I don't think everything, but Star Wars needs to either go thousands of years into the future or thousands of years into the past, like KOTOR. I think this 1 to 9 timeline has been sucked dry. Do you think we'll get a 10, 11, 12?
Eventually.
For
I
sure.
don't.
You don't.
Not
Nikki's-
as 10, 11, 12. I think it'll be like something separate. But yeah.
ABC.
Yes.
No, I think it's going to happen.
Nikki
Yes,
says
yes,
Josh
ma'am.
is Broom Boy. Riding a broom is like riding a fence.
All right.
Cool.
Good one.
Star Wars needs to. All right. Hey, Theory, congrats on Friday's stream. Tooling an amazing thing and compassion has no bounds. Josh and Theory, what are your thoughts in the new Indiana Jones rumors? Did you two game? Hold Josh accountable.
We will game someday. At this point, it's such a meme, though, that I don't know if we actually should at this point. Because everybody's.
I want to. I've been wanting to game with you forever.
Me too. We're going to do it.
Did you not join this? Because I joined.
No,
the
I
stream
was there.
super late.
I was there for a couple hours at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think like right when we were gonna game, then we just brought people on and we were like, oh cool, let's just do this instead. So it was Gucci. What's the other part of that I was supposed to talk about? What do I
Oh,
think
Indiana
about?
Jones.
Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah, I haven't read any of the leaks. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not really that interested, to be honest
Oh, I
with
thought you
you.
meant how it got pushed back.
Is that what he means, or is that what he's?
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
Why are
Yeah.
they making another one?
He's going to be
don't know.
81 by the time it comes out now.
Also, why did he agree to make a 5th Indiana Jones, but like did not want to make another Star Wars movie?
He likes the
He
character
doesn't
more.
like Star Wars. Yeah.
Oh.
He likes Indiana Jones a lot.
Didn't he
But-
ask to be killed in episode 7?
Yeah.
Wasn't
And
he
I
just
think
told me?
he did come back and say, and this also, I mean, could potentially be retcon, but he said that he felt like the character had run his course, which they really didn't have a lot for him to do in Return of the Jedi. But I don't know. That also could just be after the fact retconning.
I think he's always just thought it was silly. You know what I mean? And I think that he was grateful to do it, but when it blew up as big as it did, he was just like, bro, what? Like, I have to keep
Yeah.
doing this silly space movie because it's the biggest thing on the planet. Like, I'm not about that life. I think that's pretty much what it is.
Well, he went on to be the most successful of anyone in Star Wars.
Yeah, he killed it, man. And yeah. Yes.
Palmer Hope, thanks a lot, man. Y'all should check out new Muppet Show featuring Mark Hamill on Disney Plus. It's hilarious.
Dude, small side note about Mark Hamill. I've been rewatching the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Oh,
Y'all
yeah.
know he did Hobgoblin?
Mhm.
No,
Bruh. As soon as I heard it, I was like, bro, it's Mark Hamill
he's Joker and Hobgoblin.
and Hobgoblin, yeah. And he's awesome in
I
that
bet.
show, bro. Yeah.
That
His
show's
voice
just
is so
goaded.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's so good, man.
You're talking
It's
about
so
the
good.
original that we saw when we were little
Yeah,
kids.
when we were the one that crossed over with the 90s X-Men show.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, dude. Right? Like they could do that back then. It's so wild.
Take me back, dude. I don't like being this old. As badass as it is to see an army of Jedi and Sith fight each other, Rule of Two is what makes Sith more powerful than most Jedi. Too long didn't read. As long as you kill your master, you're more powerful, but through power and knowledge.
Also, there's that quote in the Plagueis book where he says, you know, the dark side is most powerful when concentrated in just two.
Like orange juice.
Yeah. the frozen one.
He's trying to fist
No.
pump you.
There
There
we
you
go.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys are like a diet yourself. That was awesome.
Aw.
I feel like Chaco and I are kind of a diet. We're like the same
There
person.
you go. It'd be hilarious if like you passed something to him and he like grabbed it. That'd be kind of fun. Of the recreational. Anyway,
And
Did Vader know about the rule? Yes.
I was gonna say, and Josh and Sawyer are like Luke and Ahsoka.
yo, fam, that how to destroy the chat with one statement. That's how you do it right there.
Never say that again. Did Vader know
Wow.
about the Rule of Two? Why did he say if Luke could be turned, he would become a powerful ally? Didn't he know there could not be three? Yeah, he was going to kill the Emperor.
Right, but there is a little wishy-washiness there, but it's all good.
No, he was. Dude, they were both tricking each other, man. Palpatine and Vader were both always trying to trick each other.
Into
They were
being,
like,
one of them being eliminated. Yeah,
Pink Panther, and also James Bond,
Wile E. Coyote,
Kato or something. Was it
Kato from Green
Yeah.
Hornet.
No. So in James Bond, there was always a guy who was trying to kill him, but James had set it up so that he would to keep him sharp.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking.
I don't
about.
remember that. Must be in
Fake fan.
the books or something.
Fake fan. That was in the movies.
For real?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Chaco was. Oh.
Chocolate,
I
you were mean
disagree, I
to someone.
disagree with that, Chris. I disagree with that. Our hyperdrive is powered by Kyber crystals.
No.
No,
No,
isn't it coaxium?
yes.
Coaxium.
Disney changes everything to fit the absurdities of the sequels. Well, it just seems like they're doing that.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? I feel like we already talked about it.
Yeah. I hope
And
not.
Chaco, I know you like the sequels, and you're my bro at this point. Like, I want you to feel totally comfortable to be like, no, you're wrong. Like this and this and this. Like, don't feel like just because it's me and Josh's show. Like, this is your show too. I want you to feel totally comfortable to just say what you feel. I don't want you to just ever bite your
Say
tongue.
what you mean to say.
Well, I mean, in my perspective, I don't see them doing anything truly differently than the way it's been done before. I feel like a lot of the stress or like irritation is when, if you weren't interested in it, then of course you're gonna hate more of it. You know what I mean? Like people who disliked the prequels and then they get more prequel content saying this is something to explain this, that's how they felt, And I feel like I feel like a lot of it's only jumping in just to see what I don't like about this thing, Like,
Yeah, there's a lot of that.
if you're not gonna
There's-
like the book, don't read it. If you're not interested in it, that's okay. But
No, I totally get
What I say to
that,
that,
but-
yeah, go for it, Josh.
No. You could do your thing, man. I was just gonna say, like, I understand that perspective on it, but I feel like that's more of a commentary of like certain kinds of people and not necessarily an actual rational defense of like what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like the first part of what you're saying is like I can see it a little bit where it's like, okay, so if this has been done before, sure. But I would argue that what is required now of sort of like handling a 40-year-old franchise that has all sorts of issues is like totally different than when George was creating it. And yeah, retconning the shit out of it, like all the time, all over the place. I just don't personally think that one equals the other. I feel like that's more like Sure, it's an intellectually sound statement, not necessarily like a good argument, if that makes sense. Just, you know what I'm saying?
No, I get you. I feel like there's a lot of things that I get, and of course, everyone's perspective is determined by like the feedback that you're getting. So like I'm making content on my platform,
Sure.
and I'm getting people saying, "Oh, this doesn't make sense," and you're like, "But it does," and it was explained here. Like you didn't like the movie, so you didn't pay attention to certain things, and I
It doesn't
get
make
that.
sense is also pretty indefensible, right? Like just saying like it doesn't make sense. Well, why? Or like, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of
Yeah.
people, to your point, yeah, there are a lot of people that just at base level are going to come at it from that angle, and they've already decided that. You know what I mean? But I'm not one of those guys. You know what I mean? And I have uh have a large amount of trepidation about this particular thing because of what I think it could indicate, you know. Hopefully not. And they could do both. Like they could also try to clean this up and make dope movies. It's not to say they can't, but
Yeah, I'm on board with that.
I forgot what I was going to say, but whatever. I probably already said it. Malgus showed how powerful a Sith Empire can work with more than 2 Siths. It can be formidable.
Ugh, I hate Malgus.
but his
Not
jaw
in the-
thing is so cool.
Do you prefer Barris?
Well, okay, no. When I say I hate Malgus, like he's so
I
bad.
hate Barris.
Like
I hate
he's like he's a great character. Malgus is a great character, but he just when I read his book and like when I just interact with him, I just he makes me so angry.
You interact with him? You hang out with him on weekends?
Yeah, we're besties.
They're going steady.
Dang, going steady. That's wild. How's that? What's that like?
They're
The
a
jaw?
diet.
They're a diet. I knew it. See, this is what I was afraid of. It's just
Wouldn't
taking
be too
over.
far up your. I mean,
You can dyad with Malgus.
you said you
No,
like
I-
Thanos, so.
Stop it!
Is it
You know-
the butt chin, like the wrinkly
No,
nut?
oh my god, why?
The nutsack chose.
I told you that in confidence.
That's true. It's wild.
Was that in confidence?
He was
Yes.
a Balls Chinian.
No. my gosh.
Yeah. Thanos was
Yeah.
hot. What's the big deal? He's a powerful man.
It's Josh Brolin's voice, okay? Leave me alone.
Oh.
But but no, I mean like when I read Deceived, like yeah, he's a bad dude and his perception of the Force is messed up. And so yeah, it was like he was a great Sith. That's all. That's TLDR.
I think it'd be interesting to see someone remake, because like Bane's rule of 2 is a future extrapolation of what Revan wanted. Revan was just like, no, we need to make this organization like skinnier. You know what I mean? Like, yes, you have one leader up top, and each master only has one apprentice. So it's like a lot skinnier of an order, but there's still more of them. I think that might be interesting.
That'd be fun. I'd be into that.
Thank God we came to a conclusion that episode 8 has more story depth than 7 and 9 theory.
Yeah, but that's not the problem with it.
It's definitely the most unique.
Yeah, I think it certainly has the most
I
depth.
think Ryan's a better writer than JJ.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And I think his cinematography is better too.
Oh, for sure, bro. What's the movie he made? The Murder, John? With all them?
Knives
Knives
Out.
Out.
Yeah. Dude, that movie's awesome. Like, not just a little bit. It's really awesome. I'm excited for the next one.
I didn't enjoy it. I didn't.
Really?
I went into it like really excited and went with my buddy, and we're just like looking at it. We're like, what? You already know who the killer is right off the bat. Like, how is that fun?
It's fun. It's a good movie, bro.
Like, you kind of know who it is. Like, you.
I feel like the whole
It was.
twist they do
Yeah, I
with
might have to
her-
watch it again. Give it a little more.
Bro, it's cool. And I like
respect.
you know who I really like in that movie is Chris Evans, bro. Like he crushes it in that film.
He's such a
because-
dick.
dude, I know, but like right up until like his last sort of flip, you really don't like, at least for me, I was like, whoa, like so he's playing her the whole way. You know what I mean? I thought that was pretty cool.
It was
And-
a good movie, but like Clue just already won the genre, and you just can't you can't compete with Clue from 1985 with Tim Curry.
Yeah, Clue's great.
If there are any,
I swear.
I have not seen either of these movies, so
Yo, Brick's really good too. Looper is fire as well.
Super. Oh man, I haven't seen that one in a long time. I saw it
Dude,
once
it's
when I was a kid.
so good, man.
Never saw it.
I think it was on
What?
VHS.
You ain't never seen Looper, bro? Looper's the whole reason I was actually excited for the TLJ. I was like, this is insane. The guy that did Looper, it's crazy.
Oh,
You guys are hashtag not real Ryan fans.
Oh man,
What's going on over there, bro?
bro, I don't
changed
know.
his toque and everything.
Listen, I had to fix out the camera. So I don't know why it kept dropping because the thing is, it's connected hardwired. So I don't know.
Maybe internet.
Yeah,
Is there a
Somewhere
storm
area. Yeah.
in New York?
there
There's a
is.
storm coming.
Could be that. Could be that.
Storm's coming, Annie.
Better get inside. They say that's the lady at the end of episode 9.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be fun.
She's immortal.
She's like just doesn't die.
She doesn't age at all.
No, she
Storm's coming,
ages.
Ray.
She
Aged a
ages.
bit. I mean,
She just
but-
won't die.
when they say more current instead of female lead for KOTOR, thoughts? Female lead for KOTOR? Well, you could be a female if you want. That was
My
always
pick-
a thing you could choose in the game.
My pick was Daniel J. Kim for Revan in live action.
Who's that? What,
Hawaii Five-0.
a very good-looking man.
Yeah, good looking Asian man.
Daniel Day Kim?
Right on. I can see it.
Ah,
I don't even know what he looks like.
for Revan?
Yeah, I'd like to see it personally.
That's some cartoonesque bone structure. Wow. Must be nice. In the KOTOR remake, if they make a canon version, they can make Tar Vizsla Mandalore the ultimate, and Revan kills him and takes the Darksaber. Is Tar Vizsla around that time? I feel like he's even before that.
So do I.
Yeah,
Jarvis is old.
yeah.
Yeah, he's super old. Are we hopeful for new future material being created with the upcoming release of the Essentials Legends novels in 2022?
Are we hopeful for them? Sure.
Sure. I'm always hopeful.
What does that mean exactly? Hopeful for them? What, that they'll come
Rebellions
out?
were built on hope. Thoughts on the Batman trailer? I'm not as excited as I thought. The part where he punches, I'm not reading further because I didn't watch it yet.
You didn't watch it?
I didn't watch it yet.
I love that trailer.
I was
man.
thinking of dressing up in the costume, but that's a real process.
Bro, I was trying to crap on that movie. I've been trying to crap on that movie for like a year, and I can't. It just looks too good.
Something's up with
I
his
do remember
helmet.
you were crapping
Like
on
I
it.
don't. Something about his mask is like it makes his head look too small. I don't know what it is. I need
No,
to-
he's wearing hockey pads. That's the thing I've been saying for over a year now. He's a hockey pad wearing.
wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, it just looks.
But it still somehow works. Like the trailer's amazing. Like I
Yeah.
agree with you. He doesn't really look like Batman, dude. He's the Punisher. He's not Batman, bro. But it still looks dope. I don't know.
You know, it'll be interesting because this is a year 2 story, right? So he's just become Batman, but like, so I feel like the Batman that we're all comparing to is this like wise old like Bruce Wayne as the playboy guy does not exist at this point in time. He has not crafted that persona, and he's just a ball of rage, just like punching things in the city, and has to like get beyond that. But I'm excited to watch the world's greatest detective actually do detective work for once, because we've never seen that.
I know. I
Don't
know.
leave me hanging. I said.
My bad.
Avril Lavigne. What is it? No, thanks, Demon Potato. What is what it is, as long as they stay with the canon baseline. I don't mind the building around it if they mess with history, so to say. Then who we then who will want to stay invested in such a long-lived series, you know? As long as they stay with the canon baseline, I don't mind building around it. If they mess with the history, so to say, then who will? Yeah, so that's the thing. I don't want them to mess with the history of things. But if they want to build the canon baseline, I feel like they should just kind of go forwards, not go back. I agree. Thanks, man. Have you talked yet or even read the follow-up book to the Ronin episode of the Vision series?
We talked about it a lot today.
There's a
Great book.
follow-up.
Well, the book. There's
a
that's
follow-up to the Ronin book?
No, he's talking
I
about
think
the
no.
book.
Yeah,
as
the
a
book is the
follow-up.
follow-up.
Oh, to the show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, I see. I have not read it yet. I bought it the night it came out, but
I have 16 minutes left on the audiobook. and
Nice.
I got 20
this is really
chapters.
cool.
you like it?
I love it. It is awesome.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's just a great story.
The Traveler is becoming one of my favorite characters.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see, you got a little bit more, so you know. Well, I don't want to spoil anything.
No,
Just-
no
Yeah.
spoilers. There's just someone he meets on the road called the Traveler, and like you're like, I don't know what this person's about. I don't know what they want, but they're cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I want
Cool
the
story.
audiobook. Every time I try to buy it, it says there's a problem. But I got the Kindle.
Yeah, I bought the audio book.
Is there
I'm on
music
the-
with it?
Yeah, it's
Like a movie.
yeah.
Full
Full
production.
blown. Yeah,
I
full
love
production.
those. I love those things, man. I can't
It's
wait.
giving me issues.
Can you buy a physical copy though?
Yeah, at Barnes and Noble because I copped that too.
I'm gonna need to make a trip. I get the
We don't
Sith
have a
book
Barnes
too,
and
but-
Noble in Canada.
Ah,
The Sith book? What?
Mhm. I need to get the Sith book and the Ronin book, is what I was saying.
Oh, you mean the
Yeah.
what we're talking
Secrets
about.
of the Sith,
right.
yeah.
Yeah. Have you okay, good job on the charity theory. Yeah, everybody did a great job. Thank you guys. Seems like there are two sides at Lucasfilm that don't speak with each other. This pattern is alarming, where they make stuff like Mando and then do this weird. I don't know. It's sometimes it seems like that, but I don't know because I don't work there. To me, it would make sense that Bane would enact the rule of two to try to achieve a dyad so that he could be able to have access to great power. I don't think so. I don't feel that. This whole dyad thing, I feel like, is just something that they created. What do you guys think?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Man.
Do you think Bane would do something like that?
No. Maybe?
He was the most elitist dude.
Yeah, no. Like, that seems like the opposite of what he wanted, to be
I
honest.
can't. I can't with it.
I'm curious what you guys think of the concept of the rule of two is when you factor in the Vision short, The Elder, because and it's touched on in the Bane books as well. As he gets older, his power level will drop. You know what I mean? And so it's hard to how do you truly
Drop?
combat that? Not
that's-
not
but
not
that's-
his ability with the Force, but like physically he gets
physically,
older and his body is slower and stuff.
He needs to take more naps.
That's exactly the point of the rule of two, though, because as the master's health declines or power declines, the apprentice is supposed to take over because
When
they
they
are
see
now,
the weakness, right?
yeah, they are now stronger, and they carry on that bloodline. They carry on the strength of the dark side, the power of the dark side. It should live in them. That's the reason why Bane started to turn away from Xana, because he didn't think that she was strong enough. Or, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that is the Elder would make perfect sense in that essence.
Yeah, I feel like the rule of two is always like there's just a continuously going. One dies, the other. So, KOTOR could be made canon. I only say that because the mouse has started selling Revan lightsabers. Makes me think Revan is inbound for canon.
Mhm.
Well, Revan is canon, but like the
Mhm.
character is canon. So
Yeah.
BTH for life.
But like, and honestly, you wouldn't have to change that much of the story to just copy and paste it into canon if they wanted to.
Yeah, I've always thought it would be foolish to try to go back and recreate the story as
Use
canon.
canon.
Like, just reference it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just canon.
You mean the KOTOR version?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's still that gap, even between KOTOR 2 and SWOTOR that is sort.
I'm just
that
gonna
they
open
could
them.
still
I was
kind
gonna
of
do
film.
it. I'm just gonna open them now.
What is this?
Don't do it. Don't. Well, you've bent the box now. Now do it.
Oh, dude, whatever. What am I gonna do? Sell this and it's gonna change my life?
Someday he's gonna see one of those at a fair for like so much, and he's gonna think back to this moment. He'll like changed my life, and he'll be like, ah, shit. Probably could have at least changed one night.
This thing was.
He said at least one night.
Yeah.
Just one night, we're balling, baby. We got a Jar Jar figure. Drinks on me.
Jeez. You want you to take it out? Oh, he's pretty cool, man.
You saying big doo doo this time?
You're saying big doo doo this time.
Nice.
I still need
What would you do if
some.
there was Andy written here?
What the fuck? That'd be awesome.
I still need some explanation for Jar Jar mouthing the words that people are saying in the scenes, because that's weird.
What?
Huh?
What is it?
Never seen that.
You've never
What did
seen
you-
that?
No, what is
I
it?
No,
have not.
there's
It was-
there's a few scenes where Jar Jar is in the background, and Padme says something, and Jar Jar mouths the words that she is saying.
Bro, get out of here.
Yeah, people were bringing that up to prove that he was to support the Darth Jar Jar theory. You
Yeah.
never heard of that?
No,
Like that
man.
he was behind it. And he was the reason why they were saying what they were saying.
Yo, that's a bold move to be mouthing people's shit in the same room with them. That is wild.
Sawyer, are you bored?
But he's like a CG character,
Yeah.
so it's not like an actor accidentally.
No, that's
you know what I
fair.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
you have
that's
to
fair.
animate that.
Well,
you know?
George had a sick sense of humor. Remember in Attack of the Clones, he literally smiles at the camera. There's a scene where Jar Jar comes in and literally looks at the camera and smiles. And it's like George being like, he's still here. You know?
Now I want to go. Now I want to watch The Phantom Menace. No, I'm not bored. I saw that comment. I had a really bad day. I was in the hospital all day with my
Oh
friend. So
no.
Oh,
I
are
don't.
you right?
I look bored. Yeah, she's okay. But like, if I look bored, I'm just kind of like drained.
That's Sawyer's
What-
thing. She always looks bored. She always looks like she hates being here.
Hmm.
No. What?
Why?
Oh my
Why you do
gosh.
that?
No,
Yeah,
it made my day when you were like, "Oh, hop on." I was like, "Yeah, I need a distraction."
Does he have a lightsaber? You could have been on a lightsaber.
No, I
Oh.
could. Actually, I
Give-
Do it.
Mod it up, bruh.
Callus, I know I said it in a comment, but like the videos you've been posting, your voice is just so smooth, man. Like it's so
I appreciate that when you said that, man. I was laughing. I said, "Oh, Chaco."
Dude, you should
I
do a voice of
appreciate
like something for an audiobook or something like that. Have
I
you
would
ever
love-
tried? Have you ever tried to
Nah.
like do voice acting at all?
You mean like to try to get an agent and whatnot?
Yeah, I guess.
No, I haven't. No.
Mm.
I've thought
'Cause you
about
could-
it.
Because you could show your YouTube. You know what I mean? And try
As
to
a
get
reel?
one. Yeah, maybe. I mean,
Why not?
yeah. Shit, bro.
Something to
People,
think about. Shit.
people legit like you got the voice, man. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like there could be something there.
Definitely
Isn't
thought
there
about
like?
it.
Don't they have websites for that? Like, aren't there websites? I know a guy who like auditioned to do audiobooks, and within like 2 weeks, he got a couple gigs. Like,
Bruh,
Oh, yeah?
get that
Mhm.
dude in touch with Callus. Because let's just be real, Callus has
Like-
a better voice. And I don't even know this guy.
but yeah, it took him like 2 weeks, and then they hired him, and he's done like several books now. So, and it's like an online website you can fill out.
That's
I
cool.
don't know what it's called. though.
Okay. Look.
Let's
this is
go.
freaking huge.
It's so long.
Dude, that's so Jar Jar though.
Lord. So freaking big.
Dodge.
I do like the theory. I think it's fun, but
It's like in the Ninth Jedi when Kara first turned it on, and it was like
yeah.
stealing.
Mhm. That stuff was fun, man.
I gotta double hand that thing. There you go. That works.
Ah.
You are unwise to lower your weapon.
Gotta put it in Jar Jar speak though.
What are you seeing on this?
You so bum, bad move.
Use a lower your weapon. Use it in do now.
That sounds adorable now.
Yo, that would be hilarious. What if he started just like cutting people's limbs off and stuff, and like just making it, and they're just like, I can't believe it. This ridiculous Gungan.
Theory, there's your
Fuck
next,
yeah.
there's your next fan. film,
Fan
bro.
fiction? Oh yeah, I would make that an animation.
I would need for like Sith Jar Jar to not have a super deep voice and not speak like that, and you're just like, you've been talking like that this whole time. And he's like,
Right, dude. Yeah, that'd be funny.
There is that one, right?
Palpaprotein, like invisible lat syndrome. He's like,
Yeah.
yo, bro,
He's
let's go to
swollen.
the gym. I'm swole, baby.
you
What
gotta
you
go through
doing?
those sideways.
I gotta get through this door, Anakin.
Back the fuck up.
What? All right, back to reading. I gotta agree with Theory about to be 29. And I don't feel any magic or love in the sequels. Grew up watching them since I was 5. I don't feel like they want us. Josh, I still love you.
Thanks. Love you right back.
Thanks, Chris.
I felt some Fresh Prince of Bel Air energy. Why don't you want me anymore, man?
Oh yeah, damn. What would you think of a Bane series done similar as the Batman movie is looking like? That'd be cool. Despite what Josh is about to say.
I don't say nothing. I'm excited for the movie, dude. Like that's crazy how good it is that I'm just like talked shit for like over a
Yeah,
year.
man, what the hell?
And now I'm like, kind of looks dope though.
I mean, to your credit, DC does not have the best track record.
Nah, I mean,
years.
honestly, I could go on a whole tangent. I'm really holding back. I don't want
Oh,
to.
did you like the Suicide Squad?
It was like okay, it was fun. But it's not a substantive. Like it's not. It's like a appetizer. It's not.
Gotcha.
like a-
Yeah.
I maintain it's the same movie as the last one. They just did it again, and it was better the second time.
Well, it's wild and it's super fun. It's an enjoyable ride, but like, bruh, like it's that's like okay, that's your DC stuff. All right.
What'd you think of your Black Adam teaser?
Black Adam teaser looks cool. I'm excited for it. I think I obviously wish that we saw a little bit more, but like when you take into account like some of the behind the scenes stuff, which really does show like sort of scope and Pierce Brosnan holding the helmet was like I was like yeah, Dr. Fate, so there's some cool stuff there. God, I hope it's awesome,
Yeah. Hopefully he raps.
Bruh. No. Bruh, hopefully he does.
So bad, dude. And like he keeps oh
Bro.
my god, man.
Bruh, The Rock is so popular. The Rock is so popular. He's convincing hard dudes out here that he can rap. You see his Instagram feed? It's full of dudes
It's horrible.
that are like, oh, like this is the best. I'm like, what is happening? He's literally he's such a clout machine that he is convincing people that come from hip hop that what he anyway.
They don't really believe that though.
Bro, that's what I'm saying though. But
On the
there's
low, they calling them like, that shit was trash, bro. You know that was trash.
right. But that's the thing is that's why it's so wild to me is he's so popular that he has people out here like acting
Yeah.
like it's cool just to get on his Insta and it's wild, bro. It's
I
wild.
used to really like The Rock, man.
Just that comment though. I think this is what protein sounds like.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
This is
That
my
is funny.
favorite.
That is funny. That's like perfect commentary.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh well. It's like I guess when you get to a certain level of success, you become like such a brand. Like we
Yeah.
were talking about the other day.
Mm-hmm. He is that. But why does that brand then like decide to make a hip hop song? You know what I mean? Like it feels interesting. It's like disruptive. It's kind of wild, but it's like I was shocked at how many people thought it was cool or thought it was good or thought it wasn't the worst thing they ever heard in their life. Basically, like,
Did
I'm
they
like,
though? Did they?
Bruh.
Don't forget, he's talented. He's an entertainer, but it doesn't mean you have to try out every facet of entertainment.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, like
Stay in your lane. Like you're
Exactly.
good at things.
I was
Kill it.
Like,
I gotta side
Kill it,
with The
man.
Rock. Of like, he's like, screw it, I'm gonna try this. we'll see what happens.
and he did it in
Yeah.
one take, and somebody should have pulled him aside and been like, "How about at least two? Like, can we just try
I'm all
one
for
more?"
like
How
trying
about
shit out,
no?
but
Yeah, bro, right?
it's like when you make something and you know it's like really bad, and then you just keep pushing it as if it's like amazing.
Right.
I don't know, dude.
Can I find this on YouTube? I have no
Yeah.
idea what you're talking about.
It's on
Yeah.
IG. Yeah, you can find it on YouTube.
At your
Yeah.
own risk.
I saw it pop up on Instagram, and it like before he was like ever pushing it, like the first time he posted it, and I was just like,
Yeah. I really like hip hop too, and I think it's like a art form. You know what I mean? And like really, really good lyricism has like layers. You know what I mean? And it can be
Mhm.
just, it can be really an effective medium, you know, for expressing all sorts of things. You know, and that was just The Rock saying some stuff in a cadence. You know,
Mm.
and I was just like, man, like it's borderline disrespectful.
yeah. But oh well.
We got some
Sent you on
canceled now.
Discord.
Oh,
so-
I see it. Oh boy. Okay, I'm gonna probably.
Hey, do we all have
play this
Discord? I
again.
feel like we should get on there too.
I feel like we'd be discording. I feel like a lot of us be
Indeed.
discording.
As a big Anakin fan like you, Theory, I'm mad that they ignore the Chosen One and the Rule of Two. Also, it was a great charity stream, buddy. Thanks, Nicholas.
Yeah.
I lost my place now again. I lost my place. Josh bringing in D&D and Star Wars Convo. I'm gonna need you to make a charisma saving throw, Josh.
All right, but I have +5. Nat 20.
Story knows all about charisma.
Stop it! Stop it! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Y'all ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
No,
No.
he's talking about you. You weren't on the stream the other night, but he's talking about when I did my first KOTOR run. I boosted charisma the most on all of my characters, and I could not defeat. Stop it! I
Because
couldn't
you were
defeat,
trying to get like
she was trying
options
to-
in the dialogue.
She was
I
trying
didn't
to
understand.
talk her way
I'd
out of
never-
everything.
I've never
Yeah,
played
yeah.
an RPG before. I had no idea what I was doing. Literally, I think that's like the first real video game I ever.
She tried to Jedi mind trick people.
I had no. What,
That's kinda
What
fun.
boss was it? It was the captain, like Carthonasi's old friend that you have to kill. I could not beat that because of my charisma, and Chaco thinks
He's
it's
like-
hilarious.
I'm gonna
Min-
kill you, and she's like, "How about you don't?" And
Right.
he's like, "No, I'm gonna." I didn't plan further than this.
Damn.
You min-maxed into charisma in a combat game. It's just,
It's a bold move.
it's a bold move, Cotton.
The Zabrak says they'll make the Triad have another Force user revive him. The Triad.
It's the level up of the dyad
next-
that
the next
Palpatine
thing.
was actually looking for the whole time.
Yeah,
I
it's
Can he
Grogu.
be revived though? Didn't he? Isn't he one with the Force now?
Who? Ben?
Palps?
Yeah.
I think it's hard
Right.
to say for sure. It seems like he was absorbed, but do we see his body disappear?
No.
I don't think so, right?
Maybe he just got sleepy.
Wait, are we talking Ben?
We're talking about Rise. No,
I
we're
thought we
talking
were
about Ben. Ben, yeah. Does his
Yeah,
body
his
disappear?
body goes away.
His body
His body
disappears.
goes away,
Does it?
but I think
Oh,
I mean,
he's
if,
really
if there
dead.
if there are two that are one, then like I don't think he goes into the Force until she does.
Interesting. Because of the dyad, would you say?
So then, I mean, with that, then where is he then? If his body is no longer there and he doesn't
It
go
went
into
into
the
Ray.
Force, are you saying that he's now a part of Rey?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe. Probably.
A lot of fan fictions have interpreted that.
I would say
They've
he could-
interpreted it in weird ways that
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
acceptable and are questionable when it comes to consent. So,
like one from 1984.
this is Chorus.
Josh, I love you, man, but completely disagree. They will go further with Ray. If they want money, fans bank, especially after Mando season 2 with Luke. They will not go forward. KOTOR and such is the way. I think they'll probably continue with Ray, of course.
Mhm. We'll see.
There's no way they're just gonna drop that whole thing.
The
Yeah.
one thing that I would love to see, because you've got essentially three Skywalker lightsabers in the world, I would love to see them travel back to and find Ben's lightsaber,
Mhm.
because he's the only saber out there now with the that that we know of, at least at this point in canon, with the red saber, and
Right.
that's now underneath the waves, and then you have the two on Tatooine. So
Yeah.
I'd love to see them explore that.
There's all sorts of threads they could do fun stuff with. You know what I mean? Like, I actually think it could be cool. So yeah, I'm with you on that. I just it's just the diet thing is blowing my mind.
Yeah,
Like
no,
it's just literally blowing my mind. Like,
Right.
please don't do that.
It also kind of takes away from it, because it's more like I wasn't really a fan of it. Like I said, I thought that it was just made up on the spot, sort of to piece things together for the Rise of Skywalker. But like Chaco was saying, the force bonds exist, and so that's how I sort of imagined it being. This dyad is that force bond.
Yeah.
And force bonds were formed between Jedi masters and apprentices. So
Yeah.
that's it's
Yeah.
not too far fetched to believe that exists. But I don't know if it's something that they can manifest, like a Darksider can just like work to create a dyad. That's a whole different level of.
Yeah, it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole concept of, because I actually liked, it's funny you say the thing about the apprentice and stuff. That was one of my thoughts about the dyad was, I wonder if some of the rules with the Jedi and attachment are somehow preventing maybe other dyads from forming, or rather from stopping because right, Rey and Kylo have romantic feelings for each other, right? Which, like, on the one level is just okay, yeah, it's just romance. But what it really means is there's no boundaries of that connection, right? And so the opposite of that would be putting a bunch of rules and boundaries up. So like, it is interesting that two people that could have just been master and apprentice, because they then have romantic feelings, which are emotional, they go beyond any rules, and then therefore maybe that is what creates the dyad. And that's kind of fun. Like, that's like a nuanced thing. But like, then to just say, oh no, like it actually has nothing to do with romance, because Palpatine was trying to do it with Anakin, or is there something else
Well, you never know.
going on there? Well, that's the other thing, right? It's like, are they trying to say that? Like, you know what I mean? Is he
No.
like,
I hope
yeah,
not. That's
Yeah,
Yeah.
because then you're going at the creepster level, man.
going big time creeper
Yeah.
level, because he knew the boy. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? It's
exactly.
like,
Yeah,
and
we'll
now
watch
you're-
your
Now
career.
you're
with
talking about
Raiders.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
Now-
whoa, different kind of broom boy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
now. That's different.
I think Theory passed out. But what's beautiful is we can still see Jar Jar in the background. Let's go.
No,
It kind of looks like he's fishing too. You see that the lightsaber meets the one wall, the thing in the wall that goes down. Yeah. Sorry, Chuck. Go ahead.
I just kind of thought at it like it's the top tier of it, and so that there's benefits of like just there being two and having a connection and having the force bond, and the stronger that bond is, the more the connection is, and the dyad is just the top level
Yeah.
of that connection. It's just kind of how I figured it.
Mm,
So is
yeah.
it something that is formed prior to birth, or or is it something that as they connect with one another through spending time together, that the bond is strengthened during that time period? Like, what's the foundation of
Yeah.
the dyad?
And
Like
we
how-
don't know, but they were connected before they ever met. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, is Palpatine trying to, like, is that why he wants there to be like no secrets? Is that why he's like reading Anakin's mind and stuff? Like, is he trying to do some perverted version of like real full connection? You know what I mean? It just it
Vulcan
feels
mind
frank-
meld.
bro, but it feels so out of character for him. Like, he would want to protect his own thoughts, the integrity of his own thing. You know what I mean? Like, he's the one. I just feel like the dyad and Palpatine don't really go together. I mean,
Not at
he
all.
literally was just trying to siphon off the power of it from those two, right? Where he was like, "Oh, that's pretty dope. Give me that," right? It wasn't like he was like, "I want that. I want what you have." You know, it's
And
But I
why
also
would he
think
just when you're thinking about even from Plagueis, like the fact that he didn't really want why do I need you if I'm this powerful or if I can be this powerful? I don't need to. I
right,
can be this. You know what I
right.
mean? So it just seems out of character.
the end of that
Yeah.
book was so good.
Oh man, I saw
was
the smile.
like-
Yeah, man.
I guess
That's
that's what I
restrictive
need to.
Plagueis.
Guess that's what I need to read next because I own it and I've just been in such a Star Wars drought. Okay, I'm gonna read Plagueis
You
next.
never read
Oh,
Plagueis?
Plagueis is great.
No, I
yeah.
haven't read Plagueis.
It's real good. Yo,
Yeah.
Palpatine's twisted. There's some vibes in that
He's-
book,
oh, man.
bruh, like horror
messed
film
up, yeah.
vibes, like that
Yeah.
creepy kid in the movie
Yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
that's
vibes.
I love when
Yeah.
Star Wars does that. Okay, yeah.
Like
that's what
Plagueis,
I'll do.
Plagueis like notices him on Naboo, and like just the way he starts, it's really interesting. The communication
Okay.
between those two right away.
Next
kinda
time we
like,
talk, I'll have read it.
it's kind of like the show Dexter, where he's like, "All right, this kid is messed up, but so am I," and like
Yeah.
they just like notice each other. But
I love his commentary on humans too. I felt like it was so interesting. Like how he's like humans have just spread throughout the whole galaxy and they don't have concepts of like preservation, but they're also because they're so prevalent in the galaxy, I would need a human puppet. And he's just like kind of thinking of it. He's like, no, the human would be the best one to make my puppet, you know? It's
Hmm.
fascinating.
Do you guys think Bane will ever be canon? Says Ferguson.
he is
gentle.
canon.
Yeah, we saw him
Yeah, he
in
was in
Clone
the
Wars.
Clone Wars.
Clone
Yeah.
Wars, we've seen him.
Played by Mark Hamill.
Chris Kimball, thanks, man. They can never compare to 4 decades worth of storytelling, but just imagine what they'll do when George is no longer with us. I don't think it makes a difference to them, to be honest.
Yeah. Unless they change it up.
Vanders is a new member. Thanks, man. Dr. Cool says, just rewatched The Rise of Skywalker. It was almost cringe on the amount of times Rey and Ben were presumed dead and brought back, then killed again on Exegol. Should we do a watch party for Last Jedi on Movie Bros?
I feel like we've been saying that for a while. I mean, eventually it's gonna come around.
It's
You know
gonna
what I mean?
happen.
Like, eventually we're gonna do it. I
mean,
don't know, man.
I would love to be there, but
Would you?
Bruh, I can't. Like, the thing is with that movie, I go easier on it the more I don't watch it. So, like, if I watch it again, it's gonna like just all the parts
Ignite the
that
fire.
right. So it's like all the parts that I really, really don't like are just gonna. And one of them happens almost immediately, like with the mom joke. I just can't, bro. Like, I'm just.
Yeah, I almost forget. How about a Kiadi Mundi series? Sure. I'm sure you've been asked this question
if it
before, but I'm
leads
so
into
curious.
great. Sorry,
What? Why would Kiadi Mundi lead into Crate?
that was his
It is-
purpose.
Yeah.
Oh, I think you meant like Crate, like the planet.
My
That
bad,
was,
my bad.
that was crazy. Watching
should've-
it actually click because he was like, "What is the fuck is he talking
Yeah,
about?"
he's like
Oh,
red
you
salt.
see
Yeah.
it register on it.
The red salty. Yeah.
I'm sure you've been asked this question before, but I'm so curious of your answer. Who would win in a duel between Dooku and Mace Windu?
Oh my god.
It depends if Dooku is in the dark side. Otherwise, if he's not, then I think Dooku would win. What do you guys think?
I'm
I
giving it
hate
to Mace.
versus battles,
I'm Mace all day.
but I would say Mace. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Mace probably. But like, I don't know. He
Don't
was a
think so.
really good duelist.
think so.
I don't know.
It depends on the circumstance, right? Like people are always like, "Well, Anakin was the chosen one. Why did Obi-Wan beat him?" The circumstance, you know, like
Mace walked into that damn canyon, Dolo, standing right in front of Dooku and the best bounty hunter in the galaxy, Dolo.
This party's over.
I mean,
Yeah.
that was Sam
Yeah.
Jackson right
I
there.
see what you're saying, yeah.
And then Coleman
Yeah.
Trevor was like, Leroy Jenkins.
All right.
Oh man.
All right.
yeah,
I
I just
have to leave. I have to go have dinner.
okay.
Hey, have fun.
Thanks for dropping in.
Thank you for having me. I really needed this. I very much appreciate it.
Cool. We'll see you next week.
Yes.
I'm going, sorry.
Sounds
Later,
good.
buddy.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Luke and Ahsoka
yeah,
making some cute alien babies. says
let's go.
half alien babies.
I-
You
I
guys
need
should
to know
check
how
out the
that
game.
works.
I can explain in full detail, but
Well,
not on
like-
the stream.
What?
Jason
works?
Sandula just has green hair.
I know
Wow.
that should make zero sense,
And
bro.
green tipped ears.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah,
Really?
he's got green tipped ears.
What does that mean? I
Wow.
don't know how it works.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's like, what is going on here?
And how don't? Why
Yeah.
come we don't see more of that in the galaxy then? You know what I mean?
Right? I mean, Twi'leks are, popular.
Very, very popular.
And apparently pretty compatible. So
True.
I was gonna say I think they're pretty hot.
True.
Wait, what was that? Guy with 8 hands. Sounds kind of hot. You guys remember that? Luke and Ahsoka. Right. Oh, God, I keep. You guys should check out the game Boundless Sandbox Builder Type. John in need of hype. Lots of cool Star Wars themed builds. Dutch of Source. You must be from Philly.
Hmm?
Because you said John.
Oh, yeah, you might be.
Still never had a Philly cheesesteak.
You should.
Have you had a Philly cheesesteak in Philly?
Oh, yes, many different kinds.
Oh.
Mike's is really good.
Have any of you guys?
yeah, more recently I had a meeting out there. So one of the guys was actually from Philly, so they took us around. Yeah. So we had an authentic cheesesteak.
There's
good.
a bunch of good places.
Yeah.
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 Some
I
of
haven't
the
had
best
an
places are
authentic
just
one.
dingy little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hole in a wall. But the
Mhm.
food is just
Never had
Yo,
a
New Jersey Mike's is really good as a substitute. If you've ever been to that chain,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
actually do a really good. Yeah.
yeah.
There's a place in San Francisco that we would go for every year. On Valentine's Day, they used to have a big pillow fight all throughout San Francisco. So we'd go to the pillow fight and then get cheese steaks after it. It was good.
That
times.
sounds
Mm.
interesting.
It sounds fun.
That seems like a hybrid of two different kind of cultural things going on there, bro. It's like a trip to Epcot. You're over here doing the pillow fight. And then, all right. Anyway.
In episode 9, says Maxwell, when Ben dies, he disappears as if he is joining the living force, but is not a force ghost alongside Luke and Leia.
True.
Maybe he not dead, and he has been transformed somewhere by Palps in his last will of the force. I don't think so. Could you imagine them trying to explain that?
Yeah, I can. Start with a visual dictionary and then go into a whole book about the thoughts of.
I'd just
Palps
be
again.
curious how he learned it. With the transformation into the Force. It's a technique that you learn.
Right.
So how did
Unless you're Anakin, right? Well, actually,
No.
in the old version of it, well, it's not canon anymore, but Ben or Obi does like teach him last minute in the Legends version of that. But
The Rise and Fall of Darth Vader.
yeah.
Just a great read.
Yeah.
There's the thought now that like as the spirit or whatever passes through the nether, right? The world between world, place between places, whatever you want to call it, that people like Yoda and stuff can help save people who are there, can help save others. But I don't know. There's been no official like this is how it works, and
Yeah.
I don't think there should be, to be honest.
It'll probably be the dyad.
I'd like a show about the Netherworld of the Force, like like Luke just in there, or Anakin in there, like what everything looks like. I almost imagine it looks like how it looked in Harry Potter when Harry and Dumbledore were speaking in the train station.
Yeah, that's fun.
Spoilers. No, I'm kidding.
No,
down for like
that's
20
a fun.
I know.
Oh, right. Because you
No,
haven't seen it.
yeah, I'm still going through my first time. But again,
I almost said something else
It's
that was like
going-
hella
I'm so sorry,
spoilery
man.
about
It's-
that exact scene.
I
but I
don't. My
It doesn't
thing
spoil
is,
anything. It
I
doesn't
see
spoil
things. I see things like the day they come out. Like even my wife sometimes like, "You want to see this with me?" I was like, "Can you go Thursday at 6:00?" No, I'll see it again with you.
Yeah.
Because my rule is like after 2 weeks, I can't be mad. You know,
True,
Yeah.
true.
it's my fault.
Yeah.
I give people a weekend. I'm like, you got that.
I give people
open
3
weekend.
days.
Yeah,
For a show on Disney Plus, I give them 3 days.
yeah, that's fair.
I do the Disney rule. Disney spoils it before I do on Monday mornings.
True. Well, now it's Wednesday, so
Oh, so now I can spoil it on the weekend.
yes.
What do you guys hope the story will be for Ubisoft Star Wars game? Hopefully something cool, like an open world Mandalorian bounty hunter kind of thing.
Mhm.
More Kathleen and Daisy. I'd rather eat rat poison.
Some of the ridiculous shit people
Damn.
say, bro. I'd rather eat rat poison.
Dang, Josh looking fine tonight. Just saying. Hard
Uh-oh.
eyes. Flame
Uh-oh.
emoji.
Uh-oh.
Yep, that's your
Uh-oh.
girlfriend.
Oh, okay, never mind. Let's not get too excited. Thank you.
Whoa! Whoa! Josh was sleeping on the couch tonight.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
don't
not
get-
what I meant. That's not
Will
what
we
I
ever get
meant.
justice from what Kathleen Kennedy did? I can't believe she hadn't at least got fired for ruining profit margins.
Hmm. She's got a little bit of an argument there. I mean, those movies made $5 billion.
Yeah, but that's because of what George built.
Yeah, but it's just hard to say that, like, you know what I mean? Like, I think trends are a better sign of how she's mishandled things, but it's hard to make the argument that she's lost profit margins, you know?
Yeah. I wish I could watch Kenobi in a theater. I don't. I want to watch it at home. Follow up to my first chat. Episode 10 opens with Kylo Ren walking up to a stone cold bed in Vader's palace. Rey has been dead for years. Her ship run through by another ship flying into her in hyperspace. What?
All right.
Interesting.
That's where it stops.
No, I suppose that's where it begins.
That's where it began.
It starts.
Hmm.
Maybe when she dies, he lit. Right. Game of Thrones style show focused on Jedi and Sith thousands of years ago. House of Sith fighting for power and huge drama, battles, betrayal. A new era to focus on. Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's kind of fun.
10,000 years in the past, Dawn of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Not a fan of that book personally, but the time period and the concepts are great.
Yeah.
What's the worst cantina on Coruscant? The Akbar. Enjoying the content. Keep up. Good work.
That's pretty funny.
That's good. I love a good dad joke.
Thanks, Kyle. Keep up the good work. These streams are a very enjoyable thing to dive into each and every week. Here's to many more. Thanks, Dank Ferrick. Do you worry under Disney we will ever see the darkness and brutality again that we saw in the sequels? No, I don't worry. I think we'll see it again.
What does Dank Ferrick mean?
I think it means like
Carabast.
F word or something.
Yeah,
I
right.
think it's just a curse. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like mother or something like
because
that.
they use it a lot.
They do.
Yeah, that's probably what it means. Well, remember when Cara Dune had her gun all locked up and she was like, dang, Barrett.
Mhm.
Do you think we'll get a standalone Maul series, especially live action? Or has he been shut away for the time being? I think we will. I think they're going to continue Solo 2 in a series.
Yeah, they might. They might actually. I think the Lando series is going to do some of that though.
Oh, dude, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
There's a great disturbance in the fandom, my masters. 1 week they're happy, the next week they're corrupted by the dark side. How are we to bring balance? Who's they?
Probably you and Chaco. guys are never satisfied,
Chaco's my boy. Yeah.
and he's never satisfied.
Ever. No.
Proud but never satisfied. Hey Theory, I loved your Force Awakens fanfic. Can you give a release date for the What If Ben Solo Lived fanfic? Also, what do you think of the idea of sequels getting a Clone Wars style series like the prequels got?
No,
I mean, it's not for me, but I know a lot of people would probably enjoy it. So
I
who
think
mind if
they kind of did it though with Rebels. I'm not Rebels.
a Resistance.
Resistance. Yeah.
Well, Resistance ran up and was happening like concurrently with the film.
Yeah.
So they had to stop because they were like,
We're
yeah,
gonna
it's at the
spoil it.
same time now. But the thing I want the most, and I always pitch this, is like an animated show that is Rey going to teach a new school, and she has all of
Right.
Luke's old notes and stuff like that. And as she reads them, we jump back in time, and it's an anthology series of Prime Luke traveling to this Force sensitive group and learning a lesson or whatever, and then she will read it and take that lesson to train up the next generation.
Could this book give us that?
I think it might. I mean,
Yeah.
the first story did say it was a Rey one.
Yeah.
We'll see if it frames it under her. That was my first thought.
Not Star Wars, but who wins? Batman versus Captain America.
Batman. It's not even close.
Batman, dude. He beat up Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree, Batman, but only because DC just scales higher than Marvel in general.
What Joel think of the Batman trailer? I haven't watched it yet.
Bruh, it's good.
Additionally, thanks to Secrets of the Sith, the machine used to bring back Padme and The World Between Worlds is back in play. Both may be in live action soon. I hope not. But I do think bringing back Ben Solo would be really cool. So, Callus, if you need any audio or camera help upgrading anything to help if you need it, offer is open to any of you as always, says the Star Wars Obsession. Chippy Bippy, thanks, man. And Dutch of Sarisi says, I think Disney is going to gradually shift to the far future over the next 10 plus years, using Grogu as the link to present setting to avoid mishaps, lore mishaps. Yeah, I can see that too. Keep up the good work, guys. Theory, I got 2 fantasy battle requests. You choose if you want to do them. Revan versus Windu and Ahsoka versus Cal and Ezra. Okay, Ahsoka kills Cal and Ezra.
Yeah, like that's a mean fight.
Yeah.
Don't do that to them. Like we saw it happen, essentially.
But the
He did?
Inquisitors.
Not directly, but like they couldn't hold off the 2 Inquisitors, and then Ahsoka said, "Hold my
Oh, yeah.
beer,"
Yeah.
and made them look like children.
Yeah, she whooped them.
Revan versus Windu.
Still going.
Chocolate is Windu. Goddamn.
Well, I was Revan, like you know what I mean. Like I can't tell you how good he is. It's how good you play him. You know,
Right.
True.
some people will make him only have charisma.
Right. Yeah.
You don't want to fight me. I do. Hey, Theory, any release date on the What If Ben Solo Lived fanfic? Can the sequels get a Clone Wars? Oh, did you send that twice? Hi, Rainy. Hey, girl. Yo, Theory, huge fans. Hey, Todd, what's going on? Was wondering which side characters you would like to see in Book of Boba and if you think Din will make a feature at all. Oh, yeah. For sure.
Yo, gotta pee. Be right back.
Okay, man. I'm almost done anyways. What do you think the Boba trailer will drop? When? Probably November.
Disney Day.
When's Disney Day? November 12th?
Yeah.
Or 11th? Release date on the What If Ben Solo Lived fanfic. Damn. Jeez, okay.
Do it.
It's a popular one. Someone asked who would win between Mace. Oh, no, it was the same guy. Oh, okay, don't worry, Tomaku-san, I'll do it. Someone asked who would win between Mace Windu and Dooku. It all depends on who has the high ground. True. Well, there was something that was cool that was in the Shatterpoint novel that Windu was talking about, how he regretted not killing Dooku, but he didn't because of his love for him. Like as a friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Which makes me think that he was confident that he could have killed him.
I believe it.
You're probably right, but no. Dooku's so cool.
I just need more Plo Koon content. Give it
Yeah,
to me.
what'd you think when they had him as the stand-in for Luke?
I was so freaking stoked. I was that image. I have it saved. It was my wallpaper for a little bit. But
Yeah. Someone haven't heard much about y'all from Visions. Thoughts? Oh, dude, we covered that a lot. Yeah, it's cool. Canon version of Kyle and Galen in Descendant Corvax. Is Descendant Corvax?
I don't understand.
Canon version of Kyle and maybe Galen Merrick is a descendant. I
Of
think they're trying to
Corvax?
say is a descendant of Lady Corvax.
Yeah.
So perhaps they're the ones who could bring back the dead. Interesting theory. The answers of some of your questions about the World Between Worlds and Ahsoka are in a post I made on Theory's site. Thanks, Poopsicle OG, and thanks for your generous donation for the stream.
OG Poopsicle.
You guys remember him from the Cherry Stream?
I do remember Poopsicle. Gee, man, who doesn't?
Hey, Theory, Palpatine does say in regard to dyad in Revenge of the Sith, if we work together, we can discover the secret. Yeah, I know, but that's not a dyad. I feel like he was just talking about, like, if we work together, we can discover the secret of Plagueis's abilities.
Tomb.
That would have been a great time to mention the dyad at that point.
Yeah.
It was like, we discovered the secret. I've heard of this thing called a dyad that it might be.
Yeah.
I really want to understand what was going through Anakin's mind at that moment, because Palpatine's like, yeah, I can save her. You know, you just have to side with me and like kill all your friends, and he does, and he's like, all right, cool. So I don't know how to do it,
I know, right?
but like, yeah.
Now
like
it's all of
getting
a
job.
sudden, yeah. Now it's like all of a sudden, if we work together, we can discover the secrets. It's like, wait, you already told me that you know the secret. What the
I
hell?
know, right? For sure. That's a great point.
And then he switches it, and he's like, first you have to go and kill everyone in the Jedi Temple and the Mustafarians. Only then will you have. It's like, dude,
I feel like you're making this up, bro.
It's
And,
like,
I-
get up as you go.
and then he mentions the dyad, and he's like, I'm out.
Oh, also, if we create a dyad between, I'm out of here. See that?
Right.
The door closes. He's like, Anakin, where'd you go?
Right.
Invader Immortal, you play it as the descendant of Lady Corvax. Canon version of Kyle Katarn, Galen Merrick, or Mara Jade could be the descendant. Peace, fam.
Now I fully follow. I was lost before.
I was lost, but now I'm found. If Obi tried to hide Luke from Vader Palps, why didn't he change his last name? Is this
Thought-
simply because George didn't decide Vader was his father till Empire?
I think that's the true reason, but also, A, he thought Anakin was dead, and B, you like if I bought you a brand new car and I found your childhood home and I parked it in the garage for you, you would never find it, like, because you don't know it exists. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it, but I like to think that it's mostly because he thought Anakin was dead and wanted his best friend to live on in some way.
Yeah, and I don't have a problem with it because there was no precedent that was set up that Vader was supposed to be his dad or not supposed to be his dad or anything like that. It was just like a twist that made sense. Because yeah, I don't like when they go in there and like you're set up for one thing and then they completely shift it to something that's like, what? Didn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But twists are cool. Yo, CT and Arlo, what's up, guys? Is Anakin 19 or 20 in Attack of the Clones? He is 19, making him 22 or 23 in Revenge of the Sith. I always get confused. So he is 19 in Attack of the Clones and then 22 in Revenge of the Sith. Right? He's
I
22
thought he
or
was
23.
22.
Yeah, he's 22. 24. No, Luke is. I think Luke is. When is Luke?
19, 2 year
He's
jump.
19, 2,
And
and then
then-
3, so 5. He's 24. And Luke is 24. Right? There's a 2-year jump between A New Hope and
I always thought
Empire,
Anakin was 20.
No,
and
it's
then a 3-year jump
It's only 1 year from
1
Empire
year.
to Return, but
1 year and then 2, or is it 3?
is it 2 or 3? I want to maybe 3 years. I don't know.
That
I'll
got
have to
me
double check
questioning
now.
myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. Because I thought Anakin was 24 in Revenge of the Sith.
No,
Yeah, he's 22.
I've been a mini trivia contest.
Yeah, he's 22.
Because it's episode 1, 10 years later, and then there's 3 years after episode 2. Bro, they could fill in so much stuff between 1 and 2.
That's why I'm excited to get that other book about him
Yeah.
after
In
recently being
Kenobi.
knighted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
Just
I'm
based
into
on
that one.
trailers, what do y'all think of the new Dune movie? I know Josh is about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be cool. It's apparently a lot like Star Wars.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it on Thursday, and then we're gonna do a
Yeah,
watch
we're
party
gonna-
reaction.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a big movie bros thing for a Thursday night.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this movie for so long because
Are you a
I've
big
never I've never read the books, but I'm like, I'm going to watch the movie first because the books tend to have more details.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
I don't.
Right.
I feel like if you read the book and then you go to the movie, then you get disappointed. I'd rather like love this and then love this more. Like,
Yeah.
Sure.
That's what happened with Revenge of the Sith. Because I read the book, read the novelization, and then you go and see it. It's not quite doesn't
Yeah.
quite match up.
Really?
that book is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, the book is really good. Matthew Stover killed it. What are the tubes sticking out of R2-D2's shoulders in The Mandalorian Chapter 16 post-production error? Tubes?
It's a catheter.
I didn't notice. Ah, yes. Kylo versus Maul? Bro. Maul.
Maul or Darth Maul? Because Maul, I think, if you're talking Kylo as Kylo should have been,
Yeah.
it would go to Kylo.
If he wasn't so broken hearted and wasn't
Yeah.
such a
No
I feel like-
way.
I
What
feel
are
like
you
Kylo
talking about?
Bro, I
It's-
feel like Kylo was set up to be way stronger than Maul. Like not even by a small amount,
Absolutely.
but by a large amount.
But he wasn't.
I mean, he did solo a Zillow Beast.
Who Maul?
Kylo Ren.
When's that?
Remember in the comic?
No,
No, yeah.
I don't remember. To be fair though, I'm not reading them, so that's probably why I don't remember.
Yeah.
No, they
But I
did
think his
Age
in-
of comics, and there was like Age of Rebellion, Age of Resistance, and then in the Age of Resistance, there's a Kylo Ren one, and then it goes back and forth between like something that Vader did and then something that Kylo Ren's doing. But yeah, he fights a Zillow Beast.
Now, Darth Maul, if you're talking assassin Darth Maul
Mm.
in his prime, and we're just martial combat, I might give the edge then to Maul, to Darth Maul. But
Maul
if we're-
got stronger as time went on.
yeah,
We
but
got more
his-
powerful with the Force, but I don't know if he would.
100%.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if he could have combated against that. I mean, I think Kylo is
think so,
a Skywalker. Like that's the thing. Like he's trained by Luke and Snoke.
Dude, he got bested by freaking Rey who
Mhm.
never used a lightsaber.
And
Like-
Ray would smoke both of them. Obviously, dyad, bro. Like, come on now. Obvi.
that's the go-to for
Damn.
everything.
I mean,
What are you talking about,
Te-
dude?
technically, he-
bro.
Yeah, right.
Dyad.
You see homeless people on the street just being like dyad and like holding up a cup and shit. Like,
Yeah.
Considering the actor is gay, should Cal Kestis be the first official gay character? He's not gay. He dated
actor?
Peyton List.
maybe he's bi.
Who, Cal?
What's his name?
Cameron Monaghan.
Monaghan? Yeah.
Monaghan.
Cal Kestis. I felt like he was kind of having a thing for the Night Sister Marin.
I mean, I think we all were.
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
I think you're talking about I think you're talking about the actor. I don't even know if that's
Oh.
true or whatever. But
Considering the actor is gay, should Cal Kestis be the first official gay character in live action? With all due respect to C-3PO, I think that would be awesome. What are you saying? C-3PO is gay? I never got that. I think that would be awesome.
I think that's just a high level troll, dude. I think that was just some high level trolling right there.
With all due respect to C-3PO.
Yeah, right. Like, come on, man.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Right. That's a classic Seinfeld episode.
Yeah, if they want to make Cal Kestis gay, more power to them. Real question: DC or Marvel, Batman or Spider-Man? DC, and I can't choose because Batman and Spider-Man are my favorite.
Yeah, that's a really tough one. I would choose Marvel for sure, but you can't really beat Batman, and Peter's definitely not the guy to do it. Dr. Doom versus Batman would be kind of interesting, but
Thank you. I feel like I'm alone in saying like Doctor Doom is Marvel's Batman. Just like
in
he
a lot
swapped
of
him,
ways.
and he was like, okay, rather than wait for bad stuff and then prepare for it, I'm just gonna go all out on the offensive. You know, I feel like that's where we'd go. But Marvel, Spider-Man for me.
Same.
Love Batman. Don't get me wrong, and super excited for the new Batman cartoon that's coming out.
I think it's not till 2023 though.
Yeah. But he says this is if they let me do whatever I wanted, this is what I would have done with the 90s.
That's what Bruce Timm
the animated
saying?
series.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and that marks the end of the Soupies.
Cool.
And we've got 75% voting for Maul against Kylo. Oh, 76%.
Wrong.
Yeah, I mean it. I don't know. Just based on what we know of Kylo, and this is not about my personal feelings for the sequel trilogy. Just based on what we know of Kylo Ren, and what he should be capable of, not what they presented to us in. I pick things up and put them down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd probably give it to Kylo.
I feel like Kylo could have been really cool.
Yeah, what he should have been.
Yeah, he should have been really,
Yeah,
really
I
cool
think
for
so.
sure.
I mean, this.
Yeah.
He's trained by Luke, man.
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
Dude,
man.
he's
Trained by
like-
Luke and goes dark side. Like that, even if you weren't a Skywalker, that's probably enough to be wild.
Definitely my top 5. In my top 5. Oh, well.
Who do you guys
Well-
think? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No, go for it.
Yeah, what do we think about what?
I was going to ask, who do you think has the best entrance in Star Wars?
Yoda, OG Yoda.
Darth Maul.
I love that intro, bro. He's just so goofy, hitting
There's-
R2, and then he just gets all stoic and shit. I
Yeah.
love it.
Looking, found someone you have.
You're like, who's this Kermit Frog motherfucker?
I think Darth Maul.
I think my
Maul
top
has a great one. man.
top 2 old shits were Maul in Phantom and Vader in Rogue.
Yeah,
Those were my top 2. Like, oh shit! Like, when you saw them first appear.
Yeah, Maul and Phantom I did as a kid, had an out of body experience when the second saber came out.
Yeah.
But my feelings in Rebels when Vader comes down riding on the top of that
It's
TIE
pretty
fighter.
dope, bro. Yeah, that was pretty dope. Yeah.
What
Pretty
would happen with the
good.
Zillo Beast?
Yeah, they made Zillow sticks. I don't know.
No, because they could have made the clone army out of his hide, right?
Bless you.
Like their armor, right? So it's like then they wouldn't have been susceptible to lightsaber damage. Would have been cool.
Yeah.
No
That was
elaboration.
that was a plot
Well-
in the second Thrawn book.
Thanks for joining, guys. I hope you have a great evening. We enjoyed chatting with you all. 2 hour 40 minute stream tonight.
Yeah.
Unexpected, but we appreciate it. So we love you all. Go check out my boys on all their socials. We got Josh at the Den of Nerds. We got Choco at Darth Choco on TikTok. We got Lord Callus on YouTube and TikTok. And Acolyte says Maul has lost to many people. Who is weaker? Maybe. Yeah, it depends who's writing the story, I suppose.
Yeah.
We love you all, and we'll catch you next week, dude.
See
Bye,
ya.
bro. Wait.
And you're sounding like a separatist.